raise the temperature higher. Coming in, you're coming in, you're coming in closer. Make the thing catch on fire. It's all on the ground, all over the counter, yeah. With that pot on the fire, yeah. It's your cocoa-tea I love. Oh, when I'm feeling under the weather, you just make me feel sweet. Ice the cocoa tea, use the sugar, and together we are complete, darling. Heat me up, only you alone can put fire back in the soul. Heat me up, and you're telling me I should leave that fire alone. When the more they tell me, the more I'm holding you close. I could never let you go.
I don't care what they say about me. I don't care how you live in my life. You could keep on making your noise. I can't hear you. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care how you live in my life. You could keep on making your noise. I can't hear you. I'm way up high. Negative vibes so fly this high. I say let's study anyway when we don't study them. We in a totally different place. They love run up them up, but tell them this. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care how you live in my life. You could keep on making your noise. I can't hear you. I don't care.
All right, so now we partying and we getting down and what's not, and we enjoying ourselves. But you know what's coming up next? A big match between West Indies Masters versus the rest of the world. Now, between the innings break during the previous match, and I see the battle.
You know that the West Indies Masters, they will take first strike. And I'm Anthony Denny sharing the microphone with me here tonight. Mr. Cato, good night, how are you doing?
Over the world, wherever you're seeing this broadcast from, certainly a festive atmosphere here at the Annesville Sporting Complex, quite fitting for this Masters tournament.
Yes, indeed, and very good turnout here tonight. Somewhere in the region between 3,000 to probably 4,000 persons here at the Annesville playing field. And as you said, a festive atmosphere indeed. There's quite a lot of entertainment. There are DJs in place, and certainly there's lots to eat and drink here tonight at the Annesville playing field. But it looks as if the game is about to get going here tonight. And Stuart Williams, it is, the veteran, to take first knock. Player will be Williams, who's taken up the attack from this tobacco end. So, good night here, of course, at the Annesville playing field. And Williams just pushes that one back up along the pitch. But, of course, the West Indian Masters, indeed, players who certainly have not been in the mix for quite a while. So we might very well, see some lethargy, so to speak, here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was listening to Cotley, that is, during the media briefing, and he was saying, don't expect fireworks. But I'm sure many of the supporters here tonight came specifically for this game, and they'll be hoping that the West Indies Masters can put up a reasonable total on the board here, and we can see a very competitive game.
Well, we certainly look forward to that, as Williams and fans of that one outside the off stump kept that consistent line outside of the off stump, and Stuart Williams couldn't get any bat onto the ball there.
Very good start here from Williams, just holding that line outside the off stump. A bit of movement as well under the lights. There's always going to be some movements with the brand new white ball. Stuart Williams, as we know, likes to field bat on ball quite early in his innings.
Yes, it was very much a belligerent opener for the West Indies. And again, misses that one outside the off stump. And Williams certainly looking to get bat on ball early here. Of course, Philo Wallace, no-nonsense player. He really and truly was a power hitter in his day. And I'm really looking forward to see how Philo is going to go tonight.
Definitely so. I can recall him starting the batting innings with Clayton Lambert at one point in time. Did quite well for a while, that partnership. A devastating partnership to some extent. It's good to see him here, live and direct here at the Annesville Sporting Complex.
All right, on the other side of the mountain, if I can say that. And finally gets bat on ball into that deep cover position. And the West Indies Masters off the mark. It's one without loss in this, the first over T20 game here at the Annesville playing field. And of course, situation here is in Vincent and the Grenadines. We earlier had the Emancipation Cricket Festival, where the legends, as a matter of fact, there's now a pavilion here, the double-decker pavilion at the Islands, we now call the Legends Pavilion, in honor of the 1975 World Cup cricket champions being the West Indies. And it's good to have the West Indies Masters players who certainly would have made a contribution over the years to West Indies cricket. And this one diving save there at that point position. Philo Wallace with his first ball. Seems as if we might very well, we'll get that sorted in a little while as to who the batter is. And just pushes this one into the offside. Total remains at 1 without loss. So Williams certainly keeping the openers here for this West Indies Masters quiet.
A very good over so far from Williams. Just using that channel outside the off stump. We mentioned him getting a bit of movement away from the right-handers. Hopefully he'll end the over on a good note.
Somewhat of a slow delivery there, and that ball into the pad, down to that long on position. One more to the total, 2 without loss at the end of the first, and a good start there for the rest of the World Masters.
Tidy start there from Williams and the rest of the World Masters. The West Indian Masters still trying to get a bit of momentum into their innings. A lot of plays and misses in that over, but it's 2 without loss after 1 over. As we mentioned before, very good batting conditions here at the Islands Sporting Complex. A very good cricket pitch, I would say. Hitting it for the bowlers all the up, but as a batsman as well, you're able to play your shots, and the outfield looking quite low, but travel quite quickly across this outfield, and hopefully we'll see a very good game in prospect here.
All right, there's just a tinge of grass that is coming through from the surface there, and certainly the bowlers, especially the pacers, will want to exploit this here tonight. But it's a T20 game, as we see Naveed Sirai to take up the attack from the administrative center end, and some spin quite naturally being introduced early in the West Indies Masters' innings. 2 without loss after the first over, and Sirai will soon get into the second over. Worked nicely, but can only find a fielder there, and there's no addition to the total.
Continues to be a quite sedate start here from the West Indian Masters. So trying to understand what the wicket is doing at this point in time. Dwayne Smith.
And he's bowled him. So the first wicket goes for the West Indies Masters. Looking to hike that one maybe over the long on region, head in the air. Smith losing his stump in the process, and it's 2 for the loss of 1.
You mentioned a very good start from the rest of the World 11, and there a bit of pressure building there on the West Indian Masters opening pair. Both Williams and Smith just hasn't been able to get the ball off the square, as they would say. Haven't been able to penetrate the gaps. On that occasion, going across the line, Dwayne Smith, something that he was quite guilty of quite a few times in his early career, and losing his middle stump. So it's a very good breakthrough there for the rest of the World 11. It's now 3 for 1.
Certainly a fantastic start. 3 for the loss of 1. And Dwayne Smith indeed looking quite bulky tonight. He's really packed a few. And certainly in his day, no doubt he would have had instances where, you know, the whole matter of weight control was certainly something that he would have battled with over the years.
Indeed so. Saw him recently as well in the Masters tournament. West Indies took part as one of the top scorers. So he's in a bit of form, but unfortunately tonight wasn't able to get off to that start that he craved and a bit of an early setback here for the West Indian Masters.
A bit of the entertainment in the stands as the drummers, of course, sound on the drums here tonight worked nicely, and good bit of feeling there. Total remains on 3 for the loss of the wicket of Wayne Smith. And the electrifying atmosphere here at the Arnorsville playing field. Of course, Vincentians at the last stage of the T20 World Cup would have shown their hunger and thirst for international cricket by turning out. And I believe that's yes, he's out. Caught outside the off stump, dabbling at that one, took the edge, and it's the close of the innings. It's now 3 for the loss of 2.
Just a bit of lift there, bit of bounce, extra bounce. Batsman there looking to punch that one through the offside. Just got big on him. Got the outside edge and well taken there by the wicket keeper. So 2 wickets in the over and a very good start here from the rest of the World 11.
It's a fantastic start, not the kind of start that Captain Courtney Walsh should have wanted from his team. We're just now into the second over and already losing 2 wickets with just 3 runs on the board. As we say, the big Philo Wallace, he's really bulky tonight, Philo, packing a lot in the middle. What do you call that, a 1-pack?
I'll tell you what, it's nowhere near a 6-pack.
Absolutely. But of course, these are players who they're not as engaged as they were before. And this is more of a festival match, if you can call it that, here tonight. But it's good to certainly see the past West Indies players here at the Arnorsville playing field. And we here in this country would have had our fair share of international cricket. There was a period for about 10 or so years where nothing really happened, but good to have the return. And that was down the leg side there from Sarai. Good take by the wicketkeeper. I believe that's Mulvey Hill. And total remains on 3 for the loss of 2. So, early trouble here for the West Indies Masters. Losing his radar for the second time in the over there, Sarai. And giving up the second leg bye.
Just got a bit of inward movement, Sarai. Hasn't been able to control that swing, at least not so far to Philo Wallace. Both of those deliveries just angling down the leg side. Good take there from the wicketkeeper, as we mentioned earlier.
And he's bowled him the 3rd wicket in the over. And Wallace is distraught, but he has to go. And certainly, it's really and truly an awful start from the West Indies Masters.
Not the best of starts there from the West Indies Masters. That delivery, pitching just on and about the off stump, but nipping back quite sharply in the end. I was just about to mention the fact that he was getting that kind of movement earlier. Just a matter of lining up those deliveries. And on that occasion, Philo Wallace nowhere to be found, neither forward or back, and losing his middle stump. So a very good start from Sarai and the rest of the World 11. It's now 5 for the loss of 3.
Well, a delivery that also kept low on its way back in. I think Philo was really playing for the bounce there, but he was caught and no man's land, so to speak, and lost his stumps in the process. Looks like Ridley Jacobs making his way into the middle. The veteran Antiguan wicketkeeper served the West Indies for a number of years, and certainly coming to the wicket and really and truly will want to stop this slide, this early slide that is taking place.
Indeed so. With the Jacobs, I was just about to mention, he's an experienced campaigner, but most of these guys they've stopped playing cricket so long ago. But he will look into the repair job here for the West Indian Masters, along with Stuart Williams, so I've looked at everything from the other end.
Well, Jacobs, they want to certainly, as I said, stem the slide and bring some sort of respectability to potential score for the West Indies Masters. Immediately off the mark, he's going to get close to that fine leg boundary. Fielder, let's see what happens. It actually slows up, stops, and they're back for the second. Total, I believe, is on to 6 for the loss of 3.
Yeah, short delivery there from Sarai to end the over. Jacobs going back, looking to pull up one in the region of deep square leg. Unfortunately, just managed to get enough on it to get it down to fine leg for 2 runs. So runs have been hard to come by, as we mentioned. A very good start from the opening bowlers here for the rest of the World 11.
So a bit of a mid-pitch conference taking place. The 2 Leeward Island batters, of course, Stuart Williams of Nevis and Willie Jacobs of Antigua, and they certainly would have played many innings together in their heyday.
Indeed so. Very good players coming from that side of the Caribbean. Represented their countries for a number of years. Stuart Williams, as we know, very dominant at the regional level for a number of years.
Here's Williams. And again, Williams fanning outside the off stump. And total remains on 6 for the loss of 3. Just seems to be standing there, not really moving his feet, so to speak. Stuart Williams.
I think it's a movement as well from Williams. He's getting that ball to just move away nicely from the right-handers. But as you mentioned, Williams perhaps staying a bit leg side of those deliveries. This one is caught, but straight to the man there at slip. So catching practice there for the 4th slip. We mentioned that delivery outside the off stump. Played and missed on a number of occasions. Stuart Williams, finally, his innings comes to an end. And the West Indian Masters, they are fluttering at 7 for 4.
Certainly, and really, a lot of problems here in this, the 3rd over here tonight. And Stuart Williams, as you said, finding that one outside the off stump, got the outside edge, and it was an easy catch there to the first slip fielder. And, well, difficult times for the West Indies Masters as Stuart Williams makes his way in. And Dayton Butler, of course, the Vincentian speedster who would have represented the West Indies in a couple of 1 days. Now, of course, an acclaimed international umpire.
Well, he's a very accomplished low-order batsman. He scored some runs coming in late for the West Indies over the years. A couple of good innings against New Zealand. So he'll be hoping that he can replicate something to that extent, especially needed here for the West Indian Masters, walking in at 7 for 4.
So Williams, just of course asking his captain Shillingford for some field changes. Meantime, Dayton Butler takes his guard. Looks like a middle stump guard, and Williams will soon continue. This the 3rd over here tonight. His 2nd. He's picked up 1 thus far, and Sarai in his previous over picking up 3. It's 7 for the loss of 4. Not a good look on the scoreboard here for the West Indies. Dayton Butler at number 6 taking his first delivery, and down the leg side immediately signal a wide there by umpire Graves.
But once again, we're seeing that movement this time around, just starting that delivery too much on the leg stump. So the natural inclination is for him to get the ball to go back into the left-hander. On that occasion, not getting his line right. But definitely can be a handful for Butler if he is able to get that ball somewhere around the off stump and getting it to angle back into him.
Let's see what Williams does this time. Delivery. It's just on about the middle stump, and defensively just pushes it back up on the onside.
Just wondering how much cricket many of these players have been playing in recent times. I think it's showing that they're really short of match practice, as they would say. I think perhaps bowling force would have worked out better for them.
I share the same sentiment. Wrapped him on the pad there, and loud appeal from Williams, but umpire not interested. And I think that one was just missing that off stick.
Yeah, just to add to my point in terms of being able to see the game from a distance in the field, get used to the conditions as well. It's not easy starting batting, and as we have seen a bit of movement all around with the new ball from these 2 opening bowlers. And forced up into the offside there. Mid-off comes into play, but this surface at the Arnoldville playing field can be a little tricky at times. We've seen it at the international level in the likes of Bangladesh when they played the West Indies here recently. As a matter of fact, almost this time around last year. And the bounce sometimes is a bit of a concern. And
And good shot there. This might very well be the first boundary of the innings. It is. And Ridley Jacobs off the mark. Something to cheer about?
Definitely so. A very good shot there from Butler. That delivery on the line of the leg stump. Just trying to get that delivery to come back into the left-hander. But sometimes that left-hand combination, left and right-hand combination can pose somewhat a problem for bowlers. And it did on that occasion for Williams. So a welcome boundary there for the West Indian Masters. The score moves on to 12 for 4.
Well, I'm loving what I'm seeing in the stands, despite the fact that the West Indies Masters not off to the best of starts. And this is something that the Vincentian cricket fans are all about. Win, lose or draw. We're here to support the cricket. And it's good to see, of course, that they're really and truly enjoying themselves and entertaining themselves, so to speak.
Indeed so. A reasonable crowd on hand as we look away to our left at Michael Finney Pavilion. Always seemed to be a favorite of ours.
It's indeed. Sarai is back into the attack. And for a moment I thought he got an edge there, but that was signaled wide by the umpire. One more added to the total.
Still seeing a bit of movement there for Sarai. One just starting a bit too wide of the off stump. Jacobs on that occasion just chasing after it. It'd be better served just allowing those deliveries to go by outside the off stump. Try and see if they can negate this difficult period.
Jacobs works this one off his hips. And square leg comes in very quickly, but couldn't avoid that single. One more to the total. It's good to see good effective running in the middle from these oldsters, if I can put it like that.
I was just about to mention that perhaps is the way to go in terms of working the ball into the gaps. But I'm not sure about the fitness levels of the players at the moment.
Dayton Butler should be probably one of the fittest players for the West Indies Masters. He's actively involved as an umpire and beats him outside the off stump. Once again, that movement away. Of course, paying dividends there for Sarai.
A beautiful delivery there from Sarai. Perfect line, perfect length. All that was missing there was the outside edge.
Well, he's back to the top of his mark. And Dayton Butler, of course, on his day, he can really thump it around. Let's see what happens. And this one, I believe, is off the pad. Loud appeal there by Sarai. Meantime, they're off for one, looking for the second. But that is not going to happen.
It was indeed a labored single there from Ridley Jacobs. There was no way he was coming back for a second. I think Butler was quite keen on that occasion. It's something to keep our eye on.
Well, there was no signal, I believe, there from the umpire, so that's one legitimate run added. That is definitely a wide. Losing his direction there, Sarai. He's had a good first over and seemed to have lost it a little bit in this particular over, though he's had thus far one or two good deliveries. He's beaten the bat twice, as a matter of fact, and back to the top of his mark. Look quite busy, bustling in now, and good, better line there. Jacobs shoulders and arms and allows it to go through to the wicketkeeper.
I think that's a better option for him, Ridley Jacobs. Most of these deliveries seem to be angling away from him, so it's easy for him to judge where his off stump is and just allow those deliveries to go by. Still a lot of overs left, still a lot of cricket to be played.
And this partnership certainly very important as they offer a quick single here. And these two certainly want to consolidate. I mean, losing 4 early wickets in the first 4 overs thereabout, with just about, 15, 16 on the board. It's very important that indeed they pull things back for the West Indies Masters.
Definitely so. We want to get somewhere in the region of perhaps 100, 110. This wicket, as you mentioned, can be quite tricky at times, especially under the lights. It's a beautiful delivery again. That one opened him up there like a can of beans.
Absolute gem there from Sarai. Butler knew nothing as to what transpired there. He's looking there at the wicketkeeper. As a matter of fact, they're having a bit of a discussion, but an absolute peach of a delivery, and beat him completely outside the off stump, and wrapping up a a good over at the end of it all.
That's a very good over, despite the couple of wides that we saw in that over. Still another tidy over. Both of these batsmen looking to just get settled, get used to the conditions out there. Spoke about the pitches earlier, Mr. Denny. These were relatively newly relayed pitches. We saw in the T20 World Cup last year, 2024, December, a lot of games where the bowlers got a lot of assistance from the wickets. You mentioned that Bangladesh series as well, yes, where the West Indies were defeated in those 3 T20 internationals. So it's still, the wickets are still getting settled in, as they would say. And definitely tonight, a bit of movement, a bit of assistance here for these two seamers. Not the quickest of pacemen, but just getting the ball into the right areas and the wicket providing and the conditions under the lights here, making it difficult for the West Indian Masters.
Change of bowling from this, the backway end and wide down the leg side. Not the best way to start. But he's going to trot back to the top of his mark. Wearing that number 9 shirt, unfortunately not on our list, but comes in once again, and a delivery that works nicely into the fence. It is, and that's the second boundary of the innings. So 4 runs off the bat, and very important runs there for the West Indies Masters.
Yes, a very good shot there from Riley Jacobs on the line of the leg stump again. Easy pickings, even at his age. Just not trying to overhit that delivery, just walking it nicely behind square on the onside and getting himself a boundary. So total moves up to 20 for 4.
And it's actually one of the signature shots for Ridley Jacobs. He played many of those shots in his days. I can recall on quite a number of occasions. This one is had him in a bit of two minds, and in the end just dropped it in front of him. Able to eke out a very quick single. So these two, there seems to be some sort of chemistry developing between them with regards to running between the wickets.
Yes, we've seen the experience come into play. I'm sure both of these players will know what is required at this stage, given the start that they had. They're quite keen on getting the ball into the gaps, trying to run as fast as possible, put some pressure on the infield.
Finding out something wide outside the off stump, probably just inside the line there, and through to the wicketkeeper. So no further addition to the West Indies Masters' total. A bit of a fumble out there, giving the batsman the opportunity to pounce and add to the total.
The total moves up to 22 for 4. Somewhat of a minor recovery here. But I'm sure from a West Indian Masters perspective, they'll be hoping that this partnership can go on for a bit longer.
Well, it's important, that these two, try to build as much as possible. Finding that one outside the off stump. There was Jacobs, I believe, and got no bat onto ball. With a big smile on his face. Ridley Jacobs, of course, one recall the days of the battle between him and Junior Murray in terms of taking that place behind the stumps for the West Indies. And good delivery there, wrapped him on the pad. He's given out. Took a while to think about it. And Ridley Jacobs has been given his marching orders. LBW, wicket number 5. And just when we thought that they were going to stick around, losing the wickets.
Very good delivery there from the right arm seamer coming from the backway end. I think that one just pitching on the off stump, nipping back again. So that movement causing some problems for the West Indian Masters. And really Jacob was not able to get around his front pad. Looked at the replay, you will see that his front pad was planted somewhat. And in the end, I think it was a very good decision there from the umpire. So another wicket goes, and I think this brings Marvin Dillon.
Yes.
A bit high in the order, I would say. Coming in at number 7.
Very high in the order for Marvin Dillon. I can say that. Indeed, he certainly would have, over the years, batted at number 11 for the West Indies. But still, that signature sort of warm-up and preparation is there. We've seen a bit of grey here and there, but that's the good old Mervyn Dillon that we're accustomed to.
Indeed so. That signature smile of his as well.
Yes. Of course, Trinidad and Speedster that have served this country in the West Indies for a number of years, and certainly a pleasure seeing him here at the Arnorsville playing field. Had a fair number of games also here at Arnorsville, Dillon. And of course, this is a facility that recently had a major upgrade, some $30+ million being spent by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There are now lights in place, electronic scoreboard, resurfaced outfield, and the work done on the pavilions is really and truly a spectacle here at Arnorsville. Meantime, we noticed umpire Graves in a bit of somewhat of a discussion. Dillon and the bowler, new bowler who was in.
So I think it's Akil Mullen, number 8 on his back.
Wicketkeeper, I believe, had to go and get his helmet, as I believe this is some spin being introduced here by the rest of the World Masters, is it?
Appears that way. Having seen Seymour all night, I'm sure both of these players will be looking forward to some spin.
Well, the Seamers, they've certainly done their job. They're 5 back in the pavilion for the West Indies Masters as Butler prepares to take this delivery and beaten outside the off stump. Dayton Butler. That one, I don't believe he really and truly had much control, so to speak. Played it into the offside eventually, but no addition to the total. This one he hits high and hard. It might very well be out here, and drops between those two players. And a bit of a luck there for Dayton Butler.
Indeed, so that one went very high up into the night sky. Quite difficult sometimes to judge these catches. And on that occasion, the bowler and the man there at short mid-wicket, leaving it to each other in the end. All's well that ends well for Dayton Butler and the West Indian Masters. Total moves up to 24 for 5. As Mervyn Dillon takes strike for the first time.
Dillon. Takes his first delivery and a nice gentle push into the short third man position. Quickly off for a single there, so he's off the mark. Mervyn Dillon.
Let's just punch it one to short third man for a single. Once again, partnership will be the order of the day for the West Indian Masters. A lot will depend on Dayton Butler and how well he's able to connect on any of these deliveries. Mentioned he has the power to clear any part of this ground, but it's still important that he stays there and bat as long as possible and try and foster some partnerships with this lower order, a lower order that we mentioned doesn't seem to be in the best of batting form with the likes of Mervyn Dillon coming in at number 7.
Well, run being added there, backward point coming off the fence. And back in the day, if you had to depend on a Mervyn Dillon and a Dayton Butler, certainly there would have been quite a number of questions asked. But tonight is a 6-wicket partnership for the West Indies Masters. So there really truly ought to be some sort of hope as far as the team is concerned. And that is just speaking objectively.
26 for 5, 8 overs completed, so scoring rate just around 3 runs per over. Nothing to be excited about here for the thousands of fans who would have made their way down to witness this encounter. It's a couple of bungeries. Haven't seen any maximums so far. I'm sure at some point Dayton Butler and company would want to change those statistics.
Well, let's see what Butler can do to this one. Occupation of the crease is so very much important, and swings at one outside the off stump. One that sort of jumped at him. I was looking to probably hoik that over mid wicket. Didn't get any batter onto ball.
A bit of a lift again from this wicket. Just seemed to be bending his back a bit. Getting a bit of bounce, a bit of pace off the wicket. But batting without a helmet, so I'm sure he's quite comfortable with that pace. Swinging at this one straight to mid-wicket. Good stop in the end, was wrong-footed for a while. Comes across for a single date and butter, so total moves up to 27 for 5 into over number 9.
There's a nice decent stop there in that short mid-wicket position. And saving possibly one there. Mervyn Dillon. It is to take strike now. A little bit of a hush around the Arnesville Stadium as Dillon prepares for this one. And that was quite wavered down the leg side. Not so much good work by the wicketkeeper. Signal wide. One more added to the total.
It's testing a bit middle of the wicket again there. But on that occasion, a bit misdirected down the leg side. So a bit of extras adding to the cause for the West Indian Masters. 28 for 5, if you're now joining us. This one is punched down to the ground, one bounce. Fielder there, long off, Salvan Brown. Normally seen him with the gloves.
Yes.
This time around into the outfield. So another single added to the total, 29 for the loss of 5.
And it'll be pretty interesting. We know that Shane Shillingford is all part of his outfit, and we know what he can do with the ball. It'll be interesting to see Shillingford at this stage.
I was just about to mention that we haven't seen him introduce himself into the attackers yet. We've seen Mullen being the only form of spin so far, as we look at the fans really having a nice time. Always a pleasure being on the lights, looking at cricket. Quality cricket. They'll be hoping that this game can turn into something competitive at some point in time, as another wide again. So that's a bit erratic at times, coming from the backward end.
Certainly, and as Captain Shillingford was a little bit on the ball, a little shine of the ball. One thought he might have had a short word, but play continues. And that is again wide outside the off stump, and probably just need to settle himself a bit.
A welcome runs there for the West Indian Masters. They will not refuse these runs at any point in time. All aids in terms of the recovery efforts.
Well, very important at the end of the day. And again down the leg side, and good shot in the end off the bat there of Butler. And 4 pleasant runs coming there for the West Indies Masters.
That's the third boundary I've seen in this innings. I haven't seen any sixes as yet. Dayton Butter certainly looking quite determined.
And those are some visitors. I think they're all part of one of the teams that came for this Masters competition here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Butler works this one, was fairly wide outside the off stump. I probably think if he had left it, might very well have been signaled another wide. But getting a run in the process. And now turning over the strike there to Mervyn Dillon.
36 for 5. West Indian Masters looking to mount somewhat of a recovery as Mervyn Dillon drives in Mervyn Dillon fashion, misses outside the off stump, and that brings the over to an end. So at the end of 10 overs, the West Indian Masters, they are 36 for 5, a scoring rate of 3.6. They will need to get that scoring rate up if they are to mount any sort of challenge by way of a total anywhere in the region of 100, 110.
Well, Dillon and Butler just had a mid-wicket conference there, and they no doubt would have been saying to themselves, we need to stick here first and foremost, and let's see how much we can add to this total. As Mulan, I believe, is going to continue from the northern end, the administrative center end here at the Arnesville Stadium. And Dayton Butler is to take strike. It'll be very interesting to see the likes of Walsh and Ambrose probably bat here tonight. As this one is worked into the offside, he was quickly off. Butler had to scamper back, got back in time, and total remains at 36 for make that 37 for the loss of 5.
Just a correction in terms of the number of overs, actually into over number 8. So it's very thankful to our scorers, or reliable scorers. As this one is getting the outer portion of the bat, should get somewhere close to the boundary. Just pulls up inside the boundary and 2 runs to bait and butter. So he continues to battle on, trying to score as much runs as possible. Total moves up to 39 for 5.
So Butler adding to his total, adding to the West Indies his total also, and settles over his bats. And pulls through that mid-wicket position, fielders off the fence. Just one added, and total now moves on to 38 for the loss of 5. But I was saying it'll be interesting to see the likes of a Courtney Walsh and a Ambrose. Of course, we know the contribution they both made with the ball for the West Indies. Walsh, not the best of batters, probably the batsman with the most ducks for the West Indies, but I'm looking forward to seeing him here tonight, possibly with the bat. Loud appeal outside the off stump there. Umpire not interested. And Dylan also probably said something to the umpire that, well, there was no bat on ball. Beaten outside the off stump, and that time the wicketkeeper grabbing, not collecting in those gloves. But I doubt it took any edge there.
I think it's a good test here for Marvin Dillon. Once again, he's a long way forward. Just playing that man back up to the boulder. So it's the end of the 8th over. And at the end of it, it's 39 for the loss of 5. Slow progress here from the West Indian Masters.
Very much so. And, you know, with the likes of Butler and Dillon at the wickets, indeed. Of course, if you give them the opportunity based on past experience, they will certainly, you know, get it over the fence. But what is important for these two here at this point in time is occupation of the crease, work the ball around, look for the singles, and wherever the opportunity arises for the boundaries, certainly they'll do so. But this is a call quite naturally for some thinking, I should say, as far as the West Indies Masters is concerned. 39 for the loss of 5, and Dayton Butler will now receive strike. There's a new bowler being introduced from the Beckway end, wearing that number 2 on his back, and immediately worked into that short cover position. That's Shane Shillingford, quickly onto it, but couldn't avoid a single.
Another slow bowling option used there by Shane Shillingford. Just to mention, we haven't seen him at the bowling crease as yet. Perhaps saving himself for the lower order of the West Indian Masters.
Well, the bowler here is Gibson, I understand. Gibson and Dillon looking to work that one off his pads. I believe it might have just clipped the pad. We'll await the umpire. Single taken in the process. And, well, absolutely no signal there from the umpire, so a bit of a tickle. One more, very importantly, though, for the West Indies Masters. This one peels off that outside edge, and a good clean catch taken there. A good running catch there by Mullah. And wicket number 6 goes down for the West Indies Masters.
It's a shot he has attempted on a number of occasions against the spinners without any sort of success. On this occasion, that one outside the off stump, perhaps drifting away from him. And a big swipe there from Dayton Butler, who really played a very good hand in terms of getting his total up to where it is at this point in time. But from a West Indian perspective, they would have been hoping that he would have been able to just usher the tail, as they would say. Unfortunately, he has to go. And total now is 42 for the loss of 6. Just want to apologize for the viewers If you're not seeing the score on the screen, just a little technical difficulty downstairs. Hopefully that will be sorted out soon. I think it's Dave Mohammed making his way into the middle. Tadpole, as they would call him.
And Dave Mohammed, of course, would have done well for Trinidad over the years. A player who was always on the fringe of West Indies selection. Played some one-day matches. I think he might have played 1 or 2 test matches, subject to correction. But certainly at the regional level, he dominated for quite a number of years, Dave Mohammed.
Yes, he did. Left arm Chinaman bowler, as they would say. I'm certain we'll see some of his bowling skills on show. But for now, West Indian masters are hoping that he can purchase some batting ability.
Well, one recall the telephone. I think that's the guy in the middle. And they played all over that one outside the off stump. Signaler wide, as a matter of fact. One more added to the West Indies Masters' total. Mohammed. This one he drives nicely down past the bowler. And long off, tried for all his worth to get there. Couldn't do so. And that's 4 decent runs off the bat of Mohammed.
He has always been a very good striker of the cricket ball, quite aggressive in his approach. On that occasion, a juicy half volley and just came forward and stroked it really. Didn't try to overhit it at any point in time. But such was the timing and the pace of this outfield. The man there at long off, Calbert Raimi, had no chance at all. So very good start from Mohammed. The West Indies Masters continue to pile on the runs, albeit at a very slow rate.
Gibson, his delivery has him coming forward and beaten in the end. Again, for the umpteenth time, not properly collected by the wicketkeeper.
It's quite a difficult day behind the stump, the wicketkeeper. Hasn't been able to really show his best efforts, as this one is high and hard again, over the top. First maximum of the night, and that goes to Mohammed.
Well taken shot there off the bat of Mohammed, and really and truly climbed into it, so to speak, and over that long on position. Absolutely well struck here tonight, and the first 6 of the innings, the 50 is on the board.
That's 53 for the loss of 6. 50 coming up in over number 10. So it's been quite a labored effort, but at least it's one of those targets that you would tick off as a batting team, getting to that 50. It's a matter of how much more they can get from this stage, given the batting to come, the likes of Courtney Ambrose, you mentioned Courtney Walsh. Not players that you would really bet your land and property on to get runs. Courtney Walsh, perhaps his best efforts was in that 153 made by Brian Lara, where he really formed that last wicket partnership,
Yes, at Kensington Oval. What a game was that. What an innings indeed. As Dylan will now settle to this diminutive bowler from the Northern Administrative Centre end.
I think it's Calbert Raimi. Not sure about the pronunciation of the surname.
And Dylan looking to pull this one around. Let's see what signal is going to come from the umpire. As a matter of fact, signal wide, so he didn't get any bat onto ball. Missed by the wicketkeeper. One more added.
That's another slow left arm bowler. We've seen quite a few in this inning so far. This one operating from the Old Airport end. Raimi brings Mohammed into strike. Started well so far. Couple of boundaries in his first couple of deliveries.
Well, let's see if he can certainly up the ante and add some respectability to this total for the West Indies Masters. And absolutely knew nothing about that one. It missed his bat, missed the wicketkeeper, and Shillingford getting there just in time. Meantime, the batsman picking up 2. So, Remy to continue. To bowl to Dave Mohammed. And Mohammed hikes this one high and hard over long on. And a fantastic power shot there off the bat of Mohammed.
Well, Mohammed coming in below Marvin Dillon, the begs question marks about the management team here tonight for the West Indian Masters, because so far he seemed to be batting on a different wicket. A couple of maximums, that one huge maximum over long on, clearing the players' pavilion, one of the biggest sixes we have seen for the night, indeed for the season as well.
Well, the flurry of shots off the bat of Mohammed have brought Kesrick Williams into the commentary booth here tonight. And Kesrick, good night.
Good night to you, Mr. Denny. It looks like when I'm in the box, a little bit of excitement starts, and it feels good to be here. It feels good to be alongside Kato and Mr. Denny in the box, enjoying this wonderful SVG International Masters Tournament. Tonight is just a special for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. West Indians Masters versus the rest of the world. And so far, the West Indies team was in a bit of a slumber, but they're sort of climbing out nicely. Dave Mohammed looking for one here, Kato.
He's looking to try and get as much of his strike as possible. Marvin Dillon, given his batting exploits in the past, I'm sure he'll know that the way to go forward here is to just give Mohammed as much of the strike as possible, and hopefully the partnership can grow.
Yeah, being in the position that you're in, definitely have to bring Mohammed on strike. Looks like the guy that's in form.
Dillon again punching that one down to long on. I think that was actually the last ball of the over. No, there's still a single. Oh, it is, yes. So it's the end of the over. And it's 64. 65 actually. 65 for the loss of 6. Unfortunately for us here in the commentary box, some issues with the scoring. So just bear with us a while. The technical team is working on that. But it's 65 for the loss of 6. The West Indian Masters team. A recovery job here to be done, Kesrick.
Yeah, definitely. Knowing Dave Mohammed played for Trinidad for a number of years, originally from Clark Road. I think that's where he's from in Trinidad. Played his cricket there. Marvin Dillon, moved from the central part of Trinidad and Tobago, played for West Indies for a number of years. That one just over the top of off stump, missing the keeper. Running down to the boundary. They wouldn't get 4. Calvert doing chase. So they have to really rebuild here, Kato.
Yes, a very good period for the West Indian Masters. Bit of sloppiness creeping into the rest of the world 11. Can't get too complacent. Yes, you're blown away the top order. But still, they need to get the job done and try and limit these batsmen to as low total as possible.
Yeah. Left arm Gibson played for the Canada team. That one just sliding in, somewhat like a Jiff or somewhat like a Akil Hussain that usually bowl at left arm spin that gets that one to Jiff in. So that one is definitely going down leg. Picked up a 5-wicket haul in the first game here of the season in the SVG Masters tournament. So that's the reason why he's in the international team, the rest of the world.
Well, he's gone. We just mentioned that bit of drift that he's getting away from the left-hander. I think it was a similar dismissal of Dayton Butler. Just hanging that one outside the off stump. But as you mentioned, getting the ball to drift away. There was Mohammed looking to aim somewhere in the region of deep mid-wicket. But getting the outer portion of the bat. And that man there at short third man again. Mullen, I believe, taking a quite comfortable catch in the end. So a big wicket here for the rest of the world 11 as they see the back of Mohammed. And the 7th wicket goes down for the West Indian Masters. They are now 68 for the loss of 7.
Yeah, sad way to go, Dave Mohammed. Pretty sure that the rest of the world will be happy to see the back of Dave Mohammed. He looks like the one that was going to propel things forward for the West Indian Masters. But I'm pretty sure that they're happy. But Gibson, how good is he? I mean, using that angle and then that drifter going away. Realize that Mohammed is not really playing with a full face of the bat to hit the ball down the ground. Usually plays with an open face trying to access the offside. But opening the face a little bit too much, and Gibson a little bit too smart, drifting it away from Dave Mohammed. Another wicket down for the West Indian Masters.
But in comes Pedro Collins, one of those lower order players we spoke about. Perhaps not with the best of batting records. My memory serves me correct.
Tell you what, if Pedro Collins hear you say that, he'll be very upset. But it's a fast bowlers thing. The fast bowlers always think that they're top order batters, and it's a good thing to have in your mind. But we need to see that out there on the pitch. Drifting down the leg side is Gibson. That one sometimes, cause a little bit of problem for Gibson, because it looks like at times he can't really control that drifter coming in, because if you're going to bowl that line to get the ball to drift in, you need to pitch it more on the fourth stump line and not on the middle stump. Just giving away an easy wide, an extra run for the West Indian Masters. And Mervyn Dillon trying to go over extra cover. I mean, looking at this tournament here, Kato, what would you make of it? What do you make of it for, not just for Vincentians, but for the guys who came in to play this Masters game, haven't played cricket for a number of years? What do you think it means for them, one, and also for the people of St. Vincent to have this?
It's an opportunity for these players. You mentioned they've been playing cricket for a number of years. Their experience counts. And I'm sure even the youngsters looking on, they had a chance to interact with youngsters at some point in time. They can impart a bit of knowledge to these youngsters. We saw the under-19 teams playing against each other earlier as well. So it's an opportunity for learning, tapping into the learning resources of some of these players in terms of experience. And I'm thinking that moving forward, a lot of these youngsters, they might have heard about some of these players before, but they never really got the chance to interact with them to any extent. So I just think knowledge is key, and tapping into resources in terms of the mental capacity of some of these legends, as we call them, can only bode well for youngsters moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. The score is now 71-7. But well said, Kato. I mean, it could only do well not just for the youths, but also for the legends coming here, trying to build back that love for cricket in Vincentians. It's been a while, but guess what? It's not long off. Mervyn Dillon showing that long angle, that big SS bat, 6 runs down the ground.
He have actually attempted that shot on a number of occasions. Seemed to have enjoyed that one as well. Mervyn Dillon, a smile is never too far away when it comes to him. But as you mentioned, those long levers of his, just getting that one over long on a big 6. And 6 welcome runs there for the West Indian Masters. The total moves up to 77 for the loss of 7.
Yeah, the man Sapper going again, trying to go down the ground, finding the edge. Shane Schilling for doing chase, who's that short third man, only a single. Brings Pedro Collins on strike.
Well, a while ago we were mentioning that Mervyn should perhaps give the strike to Dave Mohammed. I think the tables have turned to some extent after that massive hit.
Yeah, you always find that, Kato, that when you're a tail-ender batter and a tail-ender who comes in after you come in, you're in control now, because if I'm batting ahead of you, I'm better than you.
Indeed, so. This one again, a bit of drift from the left arm spinner, a bit of a wrong arm action as well.
I'm just wishing our cameraman could do a bit of work for us if they're hearing us now. The dugout from here, I'm seeing someone like a Nixon McLean with pads on. If he comes to the crease, it will be a spectacle, because we haven't seen Nixon with pads on in a while. But it's all fun. It's all fun. The good thing about it is that these legends that came here, they interacted with all the under 19 and under 15 players for St. Vincent at Cumberland playing field. And this morning at Arnesville, finding the edges, Pedro Collins flicking that one down to fine leg. Salvan Brown doing chase. Would it get to the boundary? No. Salvan Brown play a lot of T20, T10 cricket here. Master in his right.
Quite surprised not to see him with the gloves. Doing some work in the outfield. Not the most mobile these days, Salvan Brown. But definitely someone who has done well at the local level in all forms of cricket.
And Pedro Collins just using his feet again, hitting that one true extra cover. Rampart, short cover, not really doing chase, just basically looking at it, sort of like a red carpet movement down to the fielder at long off. Just a single though. End of the over. The score is now 85 for 7. Things looking a little bit better for the West Indian Masters, Kato.
Well, a couple of overs ago, we spoke about the type of total they'll be looking at, 85. I'm sure that psychological boost would be anything over 100, given the start that they had. At one point, they were 12 for 4. So these two, just trying to build somewhat of a momentum going into the latter stages of this innings. Marvin Dillon, I'm sure he'll be quite confident following that big 6 he hit in the last over. Change of bowling again from the Beckway end.
Yeah, that's Mr. Rampart with ball in hand. Out of Trinidad and Tobago. Small in stature, I would say. Not looking like a big fella. Setting his field nicely. And the pain there at cover. Regan McLean. Just in front of point. Salford Brown at long off. Naveen at long on. Slow just outside the line of the off stump. Pedro Collins just cutting it. Not getting a single. This looks like a lot of work here for Rampart.
Everything seemed to have been in slow motion for a while there. A slow delivery outside the off stump. Pedro Collins looking to punch that one through the offside. Not getting any type of connection or the placement he was looking for. Slow again. And a chance for a run out here. Quite suicidal in the end. Mentioned everything happening in slow motion. On that occasion again, a slow delivery outside the off stump. There was Collins punching it out to backward point. Set off for a single. Marvin Dillon on that occasion not answering in the affirmative in the end. A quite simple run out. So another wicket goes for the West Indian Masters. They're now 85 for the loss of 8.
Yeah, a bit of ball watching there from Big Move. Pedro Collins walking back. Really wanted him to stay there at least for the next 3 overs or so, 4 overs. But in comes the big man, the crowd favorite, Nixon McLean, our very own. I can remember coming here playing cricket, watching international cricket the first time. It was England versus West Indies. Nixon McLean played in that game. I can remember some of the England players. Nick Knight, I think, was one of those players at that time. Alex Stewart, Nasser Hussain was in that team. And that team for the West Indies, I can remember Nixon McLean was in that team. Roy Lewis was in that team. Mervyn Dillon as well. So a little bit of deja vu here. Nixon McLean and Mervyn Dillon playing in St. Vincent again. For West Indies, I would say, but Masters division.
He's not one of those players that will stick around. He will chance his arms, Nixon McLean. Quite powerful as well. I'm sure if he times it to any extent, this ground isn't big enough. But it's the old experienced Rampasad, as you said, coming from the Beckway end.
Not looking too certain, Nixon. Rampart just really deceiving these batters with his flight and the way he bowls pretty slow. It's like he's saying, come to me. And Nixon again trying to go down the gong. No legs to reach anyway. Rampart under it. A little bit slow is Rampart. Just falling right under his eyes. Right at his toes. But remember folks, these guys aren't spring chickens. So you will understand this situation. And it's a no ball as well, Kato. Nixon McLean really didn't get a lot of that.
It's all happening here in this latter stage of this innings. That delivery slow again, drifting away. But as you mentioned, Rampasad perhaps not getting the legs to effect such a catch. Went high in the air as well. Not sure how much cricket he would have played on the lights, or at least recently.
Well, Mervyn Dillon, did he get enough? Did he get enough? No. Just in front of Salvan Brown. I am going to make a bet here with you, Kate. I'm betting that Mervyn Dillon is going to hit a 6 before Nixon McLean. And I'm pretty sure that he will not clear the inner circle is Nixon McLean. I am going to make that bet with you, Kato.
It's all happening here at the Allen'sville Sporting Complex. Remember, you're looking at live action of this, the West Indian Masters versus the rest of the world 11. Total is 85 for 8. This one is short again outside the off stump, missing it completely. It's not looking in the best of form here, Nixon McLean.
Not at all. One of those players that sits in the dugout and he always talks about batting. Trying to flick his Nixon McLean, giving a little bit of runs there. Rampart. It's like he's saying they don't have enough guys. Let's give them some. Oh, nice, Nixon McLean. Just pushing it down the ground. Naveen doing the work there on the long off boundary. Caused some problems early in the innings with the new ball. Is Naveen. Played for the Canada team. Hit a few sixes as well in the tournament. But it's the end of the over. The score now is 87 for 8.
Slow progress once again from the West Indian Masters. 87 for 8. At the crease at this time, we have Mervyn Dillon and Nixon McLean trying to squeeze as much runs as possible into over number 15 this time around. Looking around in terms of the ground, not a bad crowd in here tonight. Quite a bit of activities happening here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially in the political arena. We also have November the 1st. Normally we have celebrations at the cemetery and that sort of thing, and of course it's just a Saturday night where persons just align.
Yeah, definitely a good crowd, knowing the political activities that's happening now in St. Vincent. And you also mentioned that what we usually call it here, Jumbi Lego in our colloquial terms, someone may not understand, but that's what we call it here in St. Vincent. It's the night when people who lost their loved ones go to the burial ground with their candles, and some areas they have a actual party at the burial ground. I'm not doing that because I'm scared of the burial ground. Yeah, Nixon McLean trying to work that one true extra cover. That's another dot. In this situation, I would think that he should give the strike over to Mervyn Dillon, who already hit 2 sixes or so. Yeah, he's trying again, Nixon McLean. Did it clear the 30 yards? Yes, it did. I lost, Kato.
You called it, Kesrick. Nevertheless, it's a single added to the total. The score creeps up to 88 for the loss of 8. So all 8s. A while ago we had 77 for 7. So those triple digits. For those of you who support the National Lottery, is one of our sponsors here tonight of this tournament.
Yeah, I think they're just really supporting the sponsors, because I think we had at one point we had a 22 for 2 or something like that. I really want to see what's going to happen here with Big Move. Just a change in feel. Skipper Shane Shillingford is asking Naveen, who was on the backward square boundary for Nixon McLean, asking him to come up to backward point. Mervyn Dillon just tucking that one just in front of square leg for a single, and the field is changed again. So Naveen is now going back to deep square leg, while Shane Shillingford, who was on that deep mid-wicket boundary, is now at extra cover for Nixon McLean, who is a left-hander.
$89 for free.
Nixon McLean finding the edge again. Is he playing at Edgbaston? Running for that one is Andy Payne. Picks up 2. I'm telling you what, if this guy scores past 20 tonight, we will not stop hair about it. His wife is there looking on. She's doing some work in the back office, but she has to come out to watch her husband play. And again trying to go deep. Still haven't really gone much outside the 30 yards. I've already lost my bet, Kato. He did hit it outside the 30 yards, but it didn't really go a long way. About 32 yards. Again, Nixon McLean trying to go just outside the 30 yards again, Kato. I told you.
Once again, looking to clear that leg side field, but just not getting the timing right, Keswick. And just evading that man there at short square leg. And just falling short of the man there at deep square leg.
Well, he's on 4. Nixon McLean, the score is 93. Mervyn Dillon down the ground, finding the inside edge. This one is running away. Rampart doing chase, looking like Usain Bolt. Picks it up nicely with a nice left hand throw. Looking very similar to Waver Lines when he chose it.
It's very good work there from Rampasad. Running from all the way from short third man down to that fine leg region.
What I'm impressed with is his technique, Rampart. Running to the ball with such good technique at that age is really good. He wasn't really moving. He wasn't moving fast at all. But his technique was on point. For an old guy, good technique running to the ball is Rampart, as I mentioned. Very slow indeed. But the technique was on point.
So 14 overs completed. 95 for 8. 6 overs to go. I'm sure they'll be looking to bat the majority of these overs. The West Indian Masters. Somewhat of a recovery for them, given the start we saw earlier.
I'm going to tell you what. If Nixon McLean passed 20 runs here, nobody can't speak to him in that dugout. Not Dwayne Smith, not Stuart Williams, not Curtly Ambrose. No one can speak to him after tonight, because he would say he's the best batter in the squad. You don't want Nixon to have that sort of power.
Another single down to long on. 96 total moves on to. Brings Mervyn Dillon into strike. It's high and all the way for 6. Massive here from Mervyn Dillon, showing all his batting ability that we thought had evaded him.
Well, I mean, it kind of deceived him because he chipped and you could have seen that he was beaten by how slow the delivery was. But getting there with the long levers, that carried him. Just using the long levers, Chong lad, hitting it outside. Really good going here by Mervyn Dillon. Umpire was coming on with balls. I'm not sure. The ball, it didn't go anywhere, Kato. Mervyn Dillon again swinging that one around to square leg. Looks like it dropped in front of the boundary. Is it a 6 or a 4? It is a 4. Mervyn Dillon is turning up the heat here at the Arnisville Cricket Stadium for the West Indian Masters, Kato.
Indeed so. Just the type of impetus that they needed in the innings. That delivery again slow on the line of the leg stump. Quite easy pickings in the end for Mervyn Dillon. Just needed to get enough bat on it. And that one going to the left of the man there at deep fine leg into the fence for 4.
This one looked like it's sliding down. Good decision by the umpire. Rampart asking. And if you need to look for a bowler to line up to really take to the cleaners, it has to be Rampart. Very slow indeed. He'll deceive you with flight. But if you time it, the right timing. Mervyn Dillon is doing it now. Trying to go deep again. Missing everything, moving, nothing but air.
Bit of experience coming into play there from Rampart. This one outside the off stump.
Really broad shoulders, Mr. Rampart. Mervyn Dillon again trying to come outside the line of the off stump because he's trying to bowl wide. That one just sliding in is Rampart. Looking to give a little bit of chat to Merv.
Total 106 for the loss of 8. 15 overs completed. bit of impetus being injected here from Marvin Dillon. Talking about impetus, we have just the man here in terms of Mr. Denny, who will be joining Keswick here for the remaining 5 overs.
Yeah, a bit of a water break, but I tell you, the score is 106 for 8. Mervyn Dillon on 26. Nixon McLean is on 90. No, it's not on 19, it's on 5. Just looking at it, all the big shots that he have played, Denny, you swear he's on 19. Just 5 runs. Haven't cleared the 30 yards as yet. But really good going here from the West Indian Masters. I'm very impressed. But I want to ask you a question, Mr. Denny. What do you think this means for St. Vincent, you know, and the way how they look at cricket, you know, in the Caribbean, and bringing these legends here to play for St. Vincent?
Well, straight off the bat, this is a plus for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's an excellent opportunity for us to showcase to the rest of the world the wonderful facilities that we have here. And I mentioned it early in the commentary where some $30+ million was spent last year for Cricket World Cup here in the Caribbean. And Vincentians came out in their droves despite the fact that there was not the West Indies team featured. And even later down in the year last year, we had the Bangladeshis here. And again, despite the fact that the West Indies faltered badly, losing 3 games.
And in it are the other sides of the chits that you would have received when you enter the Arnesville Stadium. Sister Bungale is shaking the bag. So take out your chits, ladies and gentlemen. Get them in your hands right now. All right, so we're shaking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little drum roll. I can't do the drum roll. You gotta plug that in there for me, please. And the winner is, are you ready? The number is 3, 4, 1, 4, 6, 5. I don't see who in it because there's so many people here. Let me repeat the number. So you got to make your way over to the party stand, right? Come over and we do the little shaky thing. Get yourself on the big screen. 3, 4, 1, 4, 6, 5. You'll be flying out of SVG. Where they going?
New York City.
Hey, and then they're coming back home and they finish up down New York. All right, so congratulations. We're going to wait for you to come over here, bring the other side, and you will be presented with a little something. So the next draw, because it's 2 of them, the next one is going to come at the end of the match. All right, thank you so much.
What is needed to reach at the highest level?
Well, speaking about that, I saw a video on social media where the legendary Curtly Ambrose had a session with some young Vincentian cricketers. And no doubt, of course, for those youngsters, and certainly an opportunity for them not just to be around the likes of Curtly Ambrose, but to certainly gain from him words of wisdom and very importantly, you know, what is it that they need to do in terms of projecting themselves forward as far as cricket is concerned.
Yeah, definitely. But we're going to take in a little bit of Chow Minister. The 6th boss is now performing live here at the Arnesville Cricket Stadium.
Charlie wet. My feet are coming over there. What we do? Wet me chest, wet me head. Now wet me to foot down. Wet me chest, wet me head. Now wet me to foot down. Wet me chest, wet me head. Now wet me to foot down. Wet me chest, wet me. Everybody start to swim. In the water. In the water. Say in the water. In the water. I'm coming in the water. In the water. In the water. In the water. Fellas. I want to see everybody start to dance. Let me enjoy ourselves. We outside. Hey. Let me see.
Come take a shot to the song. Everybody gather round. Let us drink till we dumb. Start run up and down.
And if you don't have a crew, hey, what you gonna do?
Just look until you find the nearest room next to you. No, stop.
Everybody,
Take a shot now. To the left. To the right.
to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. From Thomas.
To the right. Everybody start drink. Pour the shots now. All about the ground now.
Yeah, won't make it hype, but there we go.
Avalanche.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Last ball of the
Are you
inning.
enjoying yourself?
He's put it away. Oh, I
Are you
say,
enjoying yourself?
to the crowd.
All right. I want y'all to sing with me.
Licks. Nobody can hold me.
Tell me the hyper.
Nobody.
Are you enjoying yourself more? The cricket lovely. There's a lot of beautiful people in here. I love it.
Put it away.
Run it, hyper.
Yes, into the crowd. 6 sixes in an over.
Licks. Nobody can hold me.
What we say? Nobody can hold me out.
Nobody can hold me.
Sing again.
If the tearing up in 6 runs.
Over mid wicket.
6 runs.
Over mid half.
6 runs.
Over the gully.
6 runs.
Over mid hand.
6 runs.
Over long half.
6 runs.
Over point.
6 runs. Straight over cover. 6 runs. I stand up strong as a man. Stand up strong as a man.
In any situation.
Have the determination of a warrior. And have the heart of a lion.
Pakistan. But anything that I do, they try to get me out. Try puncture me tire. Don't want me run the road. I start me little business. Everybody wave something.
And they want pull me out. Nobody can hold me. Nobody can. Nobody can.
Good night. I love you so much.
Hold me.
Nobody care.
6 runs. Give it up for Chow Minister. All right. So I'm going to repeat the ticket number because nobody has come over as yet to the party stand over here. I might look like an ant from where you're seated, but I'm waving my hand over here for you to come over. Right? So you have to come in 5 minutes. If you don't come in 5 minutes, we're going to pull another stub and give it to somebody. Pull up. Cute. So we're going to give we're going to pull another stub and give the winnings to somebody else. 3, 4, 1, 4, 6, 5. You have 5 minutes to come over to the party stand and collect, well, you know, do the little prize giving ceremony thing here. All right, don't forget we have another one coming up at the end of the match. This is the innings break. Coming in to bat will be the rest of the world masters. May I have to repeat the number again? Hold on. Wait. 3, 4, 1, 4, 6, 5. You're going to make me say this number when I sleep in tonight in my dreams. 3, 4, 1, 4, 6, 5. There's only one stub with that number. So come over. 3, 4, 1, 4, 6, 5. So yeah, tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up saying the number. All right? So, see, we have some other entertainment coming out there. Just to remind you, though, you are not allowed on the field of play. All right? You're not allowed on the field of play. So please remain in the stands. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Triple X Mega Dog and more Fireman Hooper.
Stadium! Somebody say! Warn them! Serious things! Somebody say! I love you! If I feel like when I feel like I don't think until I jump. We party, we no normal, we just push things to the ground. We just tear up in the country in the league. We make the place rumble. Everybody clap! Everybody clap! Everybody clap! Stadium! Stadium! I can't hear you! Everybody clap! Whoa! I am the ruler! Whoa! I am the ruler! Yeah! I am the ruler! Put your hands up in the air, let me see them. Put your hands up in the air, let me see them. Put your hands up in the air. I'm going to call you. Hey! 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 Oh, hey, how I love you! Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want everybody sing with me. How I love you! I dreamed that there was no more carnival. So right away I started feeling bad. As soon as fire week, somebody tell me wait. They just don't set a date, so people don't be late. So get your hands and get your flags and let we be a band. The standard, no big flags, no brags. Just don't back with everybody put your hands in the air. Everybody sing, how I love you. Cricket. They call him fire, oh, they call him my name again. They shouted fire, the people call him sing. Oh, I love you, fire.
Pack tonight, of course, the Triple Mega X, the Brother Fireman, of course, current Soca Monarchy in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but we're about to witness the response from the rest of the world masters here at the Arnoldville Stadium. Sarai and Reagan McLean, the openers. Sarai taking the first knock and facing the legendary Curtly Ambrose, taking a couple steps. And the one that is, well, it was going down the left side, came off the top edge and ended up in that third man position, off the mark.
Interesting start to the reply here from the rest of the world 11. Curtly Ambrose, that tall, lanky figure, as we have grown accustomed to over the years. Not running from the same length, just about a couple of paces. But I'm sure he'll be just as competitive as ever, knowing Ambi.
And there you see that signature smile of Curtly Ambrose, having a bit of a tete-a-tete as he comes in now to bowl to McLean and pulls this down to deep square leg. Fielders down there, picks up, and one more added. So they rotating the strike early here. That's the rest of the world masters. Curtly Ambrose, who certainly served the West Indies remarkably in the past, jogs in, and one that is pulled through that corner area, first boundary of the innings, off the bat of McLean.
That's a very good shot there, 6 without loss. Curtly Ambrose, I can recall him mentioning during the media briefing not to expect any sort of fireworks from him so far. We haven't seen fire, we haven't seen works. All we have seen is some 55, 60 miles per hour, dawdlers as they would say. And on that occasion, Sarai taking full advantage of that short of a length delivery into the fence for his first boundary.
And this delivery outside the off stump, and he punches over that cover region, above a backward point position, I should say. And that's 4 more.
Very good shot again. Just giving himself a bit of room there, Sarai. Seemed to be a very good time off the cricket ball. Ambrose on that occasion, just on that length outside the off stump, probably a bit too short, offering a bit of whiff as well. And Sarai was able to pounce, and pounce he did, as the total rushes up to 12 without loss, still in the first over.
So the veteran Curtly Ambrose has a couple of things to think about early in this innings of the rest of the world masters. They're chasing a target of 110. And Sarai to this delivery is again punching over into backward point. 4 more. Same delivery, same shot.
An action replay of the previous delivery, really. Same line, same length, same shot. There from Sarai. Seemed to be enjoying himself with that particular length outside the off stump. And I'm sure the captain will be thinking about perhaps a change of feel, given the length and the line that Curtly is bowling at this point in time.
Certainly. And just a bit of a conference taking place there between Ambrose and Williams. We see Walsh, the captain, coming over to also have a word with Courtney. 2 veterans who've certainly served the West Indies in the past. And it's good to see them here at the Arnorsville playing field. This delivery, Sarai, up in the block hole, and we've known over the past those Yorker type deliveries from Curtly Ambrose, and that was probably one of them here tonight.
Good comeback there from Courtney Ambrose. So Courtney, as they would say, a good end to the over, expensive one in the end, and in response to 109 made by the West Indian Masters, the rest of the world 11, they are 16 without loss.
So good first over there for the rest of the world Masters, and immediately indeed under charge as 16 without loss. Indeed, when the West Indian Masters batted there, they lost what, 2 in the first over, if my memory serves me right. And there we see the spectators indeed enjoying themselves. Very spirited, I must say. I don't know what is in that glass, but very spirited looking spectator here tonight.
As we see Courtney Walsh taking the proceedings from the old Airport end. So that partnership, that deadly partnership that really tormented the opposition for years and years. Just around close to 1,000 test wickets between both of them.
Bustling in, and McLean showing some respect there to Courtney Walsh. And the veteran West Indies captain, he's captaining this side here tonight. Just asking for the player to come off of that cover position. Deep cover. Comes into that more or less a short cover position as he now comes in out to bowl to McLean and fans at one outside down the leg side. Interesting though, well, it's a no ball signal there.
I think perhaps a no ball for height.
Yes.
Really short there, Courtney, on that occasion, trying to test the middle of the wicket. Doesn't have the pace of 20, 30 years ago. But still willing to test the middle of the wicket here at the Arnorsville Sporting Complex.
So it's a free hit to McLean, Reagan McLean. Settling over his batters. Walsh looks a little tired. He's just into his third delivery. And, missed everything there. Let's see if it can be pulled back. Yes, Stuart Williams gets there. Batsman in the meantime, they're off for a second. 2 more added to the total.
Continues to be a very good start here from the rest of the world Masters. Both of these players off the mark. Sarai looking very dangerous at the other end. Certainly not playing on reputation here, the rest of the world 11 Masters.
There we see Captain Walsh just making some early changes in this innings of the rest of the World Masters. 19 without loss. And slow delivery, very slow delivery there from Courtney Walsh. Maybe just showing his experience there, taking a lot of pace off of that one.
But so far, we haven't seen the extravagant movement that we saw from the rest of the World Masters that really dented the progress of the West Indian Masters early. At least not so far in these 9 deliveries we've seen so far.
Again, that's not Williams, but McLean threw with the shot even before the delivery was there. And I guess it's just the experience of Courtney Walsh coming through there. Realizing he doesn't have the pace and he's not, that youth is no longer with him, but he just, making sure he keeps on that good length on and about the off stump and taking the pace off of it.
But it's the least he can do. Because you mentioned he doesn't have the pace or any sort of room outside the off stump or loose delivery. Both of these players, I'm sure, will be able to pounce on those deliveries. This one is short again and just evading the man there at short mid-wicket. Dayton Butter gets a single. McLean, the total goes up to 20 without loss.
So Captain Walsh just having a bit of a chit-chat there with Curtly Ambrose as they both meet out almost mid-pitch. And they certainly with the third over.
Well, it's something we had a bit of a chat off air in terms of how many overs we'll see from the likes of Sir Courtney and Sir Courtney Walsh. And in terms of the spells that we'll see tonight, 15 overs per team. So that means it's 3 over maximum per bowler.
Certainly, as Mervyn Dillon will pick up the attack from the Beckway and commentary end here at the Arnoldville Cricket Stadium. And there you see on your screens the spectators who are in here tonight. Dillon not quite satisfied with his run-up.
He seemed to be running from a few more paces than we saw from Sir Courtney in that first over. Tells me perhaps he has a higher level of fitness. At this time, Mervyn Dillon was always able to get that ball to nip back into the right-hander, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes here tonight.
And came with a bit of a zip there, Dillon. The athleticism very much there as far as Mervyn Dillon is concerned, and he had a pretty good innings, almost single-handedly pulled the innings together for the West Indian Masters, swashbuckling 20 plus.
Indeed so. Was able to just get that total over 100. Psychologically, that would have worked well for the West Indian Masters. It's just a matter of them just getting off to a good start with the ball, as this one is guided by McLean down to a wideish third man. Butler it is on that third man boundary coming across. Can't limit the batsmen to one. They end up with 2 runs on that occasion. The score pushes up to 20, I think, 20 without loss, into over number 3.
But as we speak, I'm not seeing the likes of a Dwayne Smith. I don't know if it's that he's not on field or... Yes, he is. And this delivery worked nicely. Clipped, as a matter of fact, down to deep square leg. And just a single in the process. So the rest of the World Masters, after a good start here tonight, this is over number 3. And they're already over the 20-figure mark.
Quite a comfortable start from the rest of the World Masters. Haven't really been challenged to any extent by the opening spell so far. Once again, giving himself some room there, Sarai. It's a shot that we have seen on a couple of occasions, quite successful for him. But on that occasion, a bit of lift, a bit of bounce there from Mervyn Dillon, and missing it completely was Sarai.
Dillon, as spectators again, they're really enjoying themselves, and it's a joy for some to see themselves on the big LED here at the Arnoldville Cricket Stadium. And it's good to see a lot of visitors also here taking part in the action that is on offer. And that one is through Sarai. Good take, tumbling take there by Ridley Jacobs.
Certainly has his work cut out here, Ridley. Been diving around even in this third over of the innings. Has really got you a lot of work so far. But it's a very good over here from Mervyn Dillon.
Well, it's a pretty good outfield here at the Arnoldville. Nice carpet-like, well-grassed. And this one, he hikes this one high and hard. It's going to go over the ropes. First 6 of the innings, and well taken there by Sarai.
I was mentioning that it's a very good over from Mervyn Dillon, but really spoilt by that last delivery. Just going a bit too full on that occasion. We saw his length previously being back of a length, and Sarai looking to go through the offside, but on that occasion, a juicy half volley, and Sarai just able to come onto his front foot and punch that one really. Didn't try to overhit it at any point in time. I was able to get it all the way over the fence for a maximum. So another good over there from the rest of the World Masters, as the total moves up to 27 from 3 overs, scoring rate of just around 9 runs per over.
Well, at the beginning of the innings, they were required a 7.3 per over, and they definitely passed that rate at 9 runs per over. So they're off to a blast in response, chasing that target of 110. And we see what looks like. Is that Pedro Collins? Yes, indeed. Barbadian Pedro Collins. And just doing a bit of a field change there, Collins. I think he was all part of that West Indies squad that won the ICC Champions Trophy back in the early 2000, 2005 thereabouts. Specifically recall that game. And breaks into his stride now to bowl to McLean. And McLean hoiks this one. Well, it peels off the bat as a matter of fact. I don't think that's where he intended, but it's 4 runs nonetheless.
Not time to perfection there on that occasion, McLean. But a bit of a loosener there from Pedro Collins outside the off stump. McLean looking to perhaps go over long on, but just get it over the bowler's head and into the fence for 4. It's not the best of starts there from Pedro.
Outside the off stump, and McLean a bit injudicious there. Had a bit in the air, didn't get any bat onto the ball, and through to the glove, into the gloves of Ridley Jacobs.
So far, we have seen the seaming options of the West Indian Masters team. I'm just wondering at what point we might see the introduction of spin. I think that might be a critical part of this encounter.
Played nicely into that square leg position. The field is off the boundary. Looks like Dave Mohammed gets it quickly back into the gloves of Jacobs. And in terms of fitness, the likes of Mohammed, Mervyn Dillon, and our very own Dayton Butler. Pretty active in the field here tonight. Outside the off stump, and that one I think kept low. Luckily for him, it was non-stump.
It's something you alluded to earlier in terms of the nature of some of the wickets here at the Arnoldville Sporting Complex. That delivery, just keeping a bit low on that occasion. But thankfully for Sarai, it was not on his stump. So a reasonable comeback so far after being hit for that boundary from the first delivery from Pedro Collins. Getting any sort of swing back into the right-hander, at least not as yet. Most of these deliveries seem to be angling across the right-handed batsman. I know for a while during his prime he was able to get that ball to nip back into the right-handers. Got Sachin Tendulkar a couple of times, if my memory serves me correct.
So ball in hand, Pedro Collins turned to the top of his mark. And this one is outside the off stump, and well, Sarai, well, as a matter of fact, wide now being signaled. It's actually no ball, and a free hit there to Sarai. But I get the feeling that he was thinking to himself, probably should have done a little better with that. It was full delivery there from Pedro Collins, stepped over the crease, and we now have that free hit. It's 31, I believe, without loss. And that one eludes Ridley Jacobs into the ropes. And that's 4 byes. It came off the bat, did it?
I think he got a bit of an outside edge there, Sarai. Had to stretch for it. Was quite wide outside the off stump. But another good over again for the rest of the World Masters. Total moves up to 37 at the end of the 4th over. So just being able to maintain that 9 runs per over or so. As long as they're able to do that with the preservation of wickets, they should comfortably overhaul this total made by the West Indian Masters.
So, very good start here from the rest of the World Masters here at the Arnoldville Cricket Stadium. And the 2 openers in Sarai and McLean certainly taking full charge of the proceedings in this, the early overs. We see Mervyn Dillon, I believe, is going to continue from the southern end, the backway end. This time he's going to be moving into Regan McLean. And just awaiting a little bit of a field change as the field is pulled off that cover boundary and comes into that, well, more or less a short cover position. Comes from deep cover into cover, I should say. Not seen it on our screen, but that slight field change adjustment. And now we see the player going right back now on the third man fence as Dillon is in. And wide being signaled there.
He's bowling it with a reasonable pace here, Mervyn Dillon, given his age. Really smooth action. Seemed to have not lost any sort of rhythm in his run-up. Maybe not bowling to his previous
Pace.
high mileage, but still at a reasonable pace given the nature of the competition here on show.
Yes, and Dylan, as I said, looks quite fit as he races in. And McLean gets back onto ball, and it's dropped there by Courtney Ambrose, straight into his arms. And he's like, trust me, I can't hold on to that one.
I'll tell you what, he never looked comfortable at any point in time. That delivery was struck quite ferociously, and he can see the funny side of it.
Yes, definitely.
Short delivery, and there was McLean pulling it, and Ambrose backing away to square leg to some extent, and couldn't hold on. And seeing the funny side of it now with his long-time friend there, Courtney Walsh. Not to show how Marvin Dillon will feel about that.
Well, he's had many a catches dropped off from him in his heyday, Marvin Dillon. But situations like this where a wicket is so very much important, it's important that you take the opportunities when they come your way.
It's another sharp delivery again there from Dillon. Just pitching and nipping back into Sarai, not offering him that sort of room. And we have seen on a couple of occasions, whenever he's offered room, he's able to punch the ball through the offside quite effectively. But on that occasion, that ball seemed to have followed him to some extent. Good pace as well. So good contest here between bat and ball.
Dillon. McLean hits this one high and hard over at backward point position. And that's 6 runs, as a matter of fact, over the ropes. And the second 6 as the drums strike up in the Legends Pavilion.
Well, the margin for error here from Marvin Dillon, especially to Sarai, is so slim. Because on that occasion, just offering a bit too much room outside the off stump, the previous delivery mentioned, came back into the right hander, cramped him for room. Whenever he's given room, Sarai, we have seen that he's able to use his hands and get the ball through the offside quite effectively.
Well, Sarai's been having a good game thus far. Picked up a couple in the West Indies innings, and that's well timed. Not going to get there, Mohammed. That's 4 more.
He's enjoying the length here from Marvin Dillon and a bit of room. And in fact, on some occasions, he's actually making room for himself. If you look at the replay on this occasion, you will see that he would have stepped away to the leg side to some extent, opening up that offside. There's no one back on the deep extra cover boundary, so any sort of bat, he's able to evade the infield and get runs. So back-to-back boundaries here for Sarai, and the rest of the World 11 continues to march on. It's 49 without loss.
Dillon being put to the sword, and this one peels off the top edge. He might very well be out here, and is dropped by Pedro Collins. Second opportunity going down off the ball of Marvin Dillon in this over.
It's quite unfortunate there for Marvin Dillon. He has really bent his back on this occasion again, going short, aiming at the body there of Sarai, looking to go on the onside this time around. Not looking quite comfortable against that length whenever it's at his body, but whenever he's given room outside the off, some seem to enjoy that a bit more. But must be said, that catch is one that you should take every day of the week.
Certainly, but these guys probably haven't seen the cricket field for a pretty long time. And we've seen it indeed here tonight at the Arnorsville Stadium. Better delivery there, just pushed into the offside, and no run resulting. But you certainly have to think about Marvin Dillon. 2 opportunities going long in this over. He should have had both players, as a matter of fact, McLean and Sarai. Sarai nonetheless came back with 2 beautiful shots. That 6 over backward point and that 4 through the cover region. It's certainly at the end of the day, the batters prevailed and held the upper end as far as that over was concerned.
Continues to be a very bright start from the rest of the World 11. He's scoring quite quickly. The score moves up to 50 without loss. Sarai racing on to 32. As we look at the pans, the steel pans there, that section really is a rhythm section in the Legends Pavilion.
Well, actually, the group is called the Drumbo, and a number of drummers from throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines coming together. There's certainly a feature at all sporting activities, whether it's cricket or football. We've had certainly World Cup qualifying games played here at the Arnorsville Cricket Stadium. We recall that game where St. Vincent and the Grenadines took on Jamaica Unfortunately drew that game 1-1 after leading by a goal to nil. And Drumbo featured significantly in that game, as they're doing here tonight, as the West Indian Masters take on the rest of the world Masters. We're now seeing the introduction of spin. It looks like Dave Mohammed to pick it up from the administrative center. And Sarai, who did pretty well with the ball and now doing good with the bat, to certainly face the first off of spin from the West Indian Masters. So it's interesting to see what will transpire from here going forward as to whether or not Mohammed is going to bring some sort of success for the West Indian Masters. One outside the off stump, punched into the offside. Player coming around in that short mid-off position, picking it up, and there's no run. So Sarai hits this one high and hard, and might very well lose his wicket. And well, that goes down. That looks like, is that Phil Wallace?
I think it's our very own Dayton.
Yeah, it's Butler.
Perhaps one of the men on the field would have placed their bet on to take a catch like that. Never looked comfortable once again. It's quite difficult under the lights if you're not used to these lights. As you mentioned, a lot of these players haven't been playing cricket that often recently.
That's correct.
And another chance go begging.
So it's not that the opportunities have been created here tonight for the West Indian Masters. We saw that last over from Mervyn Dillon. 2 opportunities, and just a while ago, of course, off the bowling of Mohammed. And good delivery, not so good batting by McLean.
Dave Mohammed being his usual self. Left arm Chinaman bowler, as we would say. Quite a difficult skill. I haven't seen a lot of successful left arm Chinaman bowlers, especially on the world stage.
That's correct.
Currently we have the likes of Kuldeep Yadav from India, doing quite well.
Mohammed.
Shamsi, another of those bowlers as well.
The South African, yes. And Kane playing and missing outside the off stump, and Mohammed is pushing it through here tonight. There you see a fan really enjoying himself here at the Arnoldville Cricket Stadium. Down the wicket and pulls this one. Let's see the signal. I believe it went over the ropes. It did. So that's 6 more to the total.
It's another good shot there from McLean. Seemed to be a powerful player. Just using his feet on that occasion after a couple of misses. Was able to get enough on it to evade the fielder there at deep mid wicket all the way for 6. So quite a few maximums in this innings. Not as much as
West Indian Masters.
West Indies Masters would have liked to concede at this stage.
So I believe it's 57 for the loss. Well, without loss, I should say. And the West Indian bowlers being taken to the cleaners here tonight. 56, as the scoreboard shows, 56 without loss. We're in over number 6. Sarai and McLean, the batters. And now we see Suleiman Ben being brought into the attack. Known as Mr. No Nonsense, Suleiman Ben. He's had his fair share of run-ins on the cricket field. And already we've seen him being in a sort of domineering fashion as he has that discussion with Captain Walsh.
Very competitive, Suleiman Ben.
Tall, lanky player he is from Barbados. And as you said, a very competitive cricketer, both bat and ball and on the field, Suleiman Ben in his day. And the player who came through the ranks in the various levels, I should say, in Barbados, was outstanding as a youth player and did well for Barbados and the West Indies also. Way outside the off stump, and not a very good opening delivery there from Ben.
It's what you call a loosener. Perfect definition.
Well, is that a second loosener?
I was about to say make that 2 in a row. I'm not sure if he had warmed up before the innings would have started.
He has a big broad smile on his face, Suleiman. Outside the off stump again, and it's the third wide in a row. There from Ben.
One a bit closer, but still outside of the guideline. You can see that blue mark there as a guide to the umpire.
And this one beats him outside the off stump. Sarai looking to hoik this one probably over the bowler's head. And missed it completely. So Ben with a moral victory after those 3 wides. And, well, I believe his foot was back there. Jacobs showing that he still has it. The bails are quickly off.
Very good take there from Riley Jacobs. You mentioned he has looked quite sharp behind the wicket. Has had to get through quite a bit of work. But so far he has really covered himself in glory as it relates to his wicket-keeping duties.
Ridley Jacobs settles behind the stumps as Ben delivers. And this one is punched into that deep backward point position. Fielder coming around. Can he stop it? And a remarkable effort there. It looks like Mohammed.
Brilliant again in the field there, Jason Mohammed. Has been like a real live wire, rolling back the years on that occasion. Had 4 written all over it. But he was quite determined, and in the end, just limiting the batsman to 2 runs.
And no ball being signaled as it's been saved on the boundary there by Mohammed. So it's going to be a free hit, is it?
Yes, it is. Really no sort of excuse as a spinner to be bowling a no ball, just running in a couple of yards, Solomon Ben. So quite a bit of that during his playing days as well.
So we are over 10 runs per over, and let's see what happens with this free hit. It's down the track and hoits this one, but it's more height than power. Drops just in front of Courtney Walsh, the captain there, and just through for a single.
For a while there, I think Courtney didn't recognize that it was that close to him. In the end, just never really got anywhere close to it.
This delivery, Sarai gets back onto ball. It's going to evade Mohammed this time, and into that extra cover boundary. 4 more added to the total. Advances now to 70, I believe, without loss. And this the 7th over. So they're really motoring along as we see the fans in the party stand area enjoying themselves here tonight. And this one is just punched into the offside, into that point position, and off a very quick single. 67. So 67 without loss. That's the total.
Just around 10 runs per over, or just below 9.99, I would say.
Just about that, yes.
Having started the innings at a required run rate of just over 7 runs per over, they really up at the rate. Haven't lost a wicket as yet, so they're quite comfortable here. The rest of the world Masters, the West Indian Masters, will need to get some wickets if they are to pull back this game to any extent. Then the progress of the rest of the world 11.
Well, they're 69 without loss, chasing a target of 110. Just some 41 runs outside of victory, with some 48 deliveries remaining. And all 10 wickets in hand, the rest of the World Masters. So certainly advantage to them. But we see Dave Mohammed, arms akimbo. And in the past, well, one could have expected something from Mohammed. Let's see what he has up his sleeves here tonight at the Arnersville Cricket Stadium. And with that mohawk hairstyle of his, comes into Sarai and just pulls it down to long on. One more resulting to the total is 70 now without the loss of a wicket.
Mohammed here into his second over. We're looking to get that breakthrough. Created the opportunity in his previous over. So it's a matter of them just taking advantage of those opportunities presented to them. Seen quite a few drop catches so far, a bit of misfielding. Quite understandable as well, given the nature of this competition.
Well, it's a Masters competition. You'll find players with the likes of 40 plus. Let's see this one. High and hard. Could this be the catch? Yes, it is. Taken finally. And first wicket goes. Catch taken there by, well, difficult from our vantage point, but it's wicket number 1. And McLean goes back.
A bit of a quicker delivery there on that occasion from Mohammed. And there was McLean looking to aim in that region of mid-wicket again. Got some success in the previous over with a huge 6 in that vicinity, but on this occasion, not timing it as well as he would like. And in the end, a quite comfortable catch there from, I think, it's Sherwin Campbell.
Yes.
Yes, not the position you will associate him with. And normally he's in the slip corner. Yes. So the first breakthrough here for the West Indian Masters, they'll be looking to go on a bit of a roll, try and dent the progress here of the rest of the world Masters, but it's 70 for 1 into over number 8.
Well, it's interesting that Sherwin didn't feature with the bat. We had the likes of Dayton Butler batting at number 6 for the West Indian Masters. We didn't see Sherwin Campbell being featured, but also Curtly Ambrose, I believe, has made his way off the field after bowling that one over. That we certainly would have looked forward to. So it's good to see Sherwin Campbell out there also.
We always had question marks about the duration of this spell or the duration of his stay on the field so Curtly. Not sure standing up for 15 overs is something that he would be looking forward to at any point in his career. At least at this stage, that is. But a good breakthrough there for the West Indian Masters.
Certainly does.
Andy Payne into the wicket, number 13 on his back.
Payne in that orange helmet of his. Probably from one of the franchise teams around the region. And there's loud appeal. Not out, says umpire Graves.
Tell you what, that looked pretty close. It was pitching just on about middle and off, turning back in. If anything, I think I saw Miss Umpire Graves just signaling going down the leg side. It will be interesting to see that replay again. Mohammed there quite confident in his appeal, but in the end, umpire's decision is final.
So Mohammed having a good over, 8 over being bowled here tonight by the West Indian Masters. And this delivery has Payne coming forward, beating him outside the off stump.
That one going the other way, a bit slower as well. Well bowled. Certainly looking good. Dave Mohammed did well with the bat. Saw some brilliance from him in the field. And of course, he has done quite well with the ball as well.
Has that competitive look on his face, Mohammed. And this one is punched onto deep cover. Fielder just trots in. That's Mervyn Dillon. Big Merv Dillon tosses it back. And just one run resulting. Total now on to 71 for 1. So that's the end of the over there from Mohammed. And a good over from Mohammed where he picked up the wicket of McLean, sorry.
Definitely pick up the bowlers so far in this innings. Using all his variations, all of his experience, creating opportunities. Thankfully for him and the West Indian Masters, that last opportunity was taken quite gleefully in the end there from Sherwin Campbell. So it looks as if it's going to be Ben who will continue from the southern end, the backway end here at the picturesque Arnesville Cricket Stadium. And want to reach out to those folks who are following us on the various platforms. We're available on Facebook, on YouTube, locally, of course, on the channel 114, and whatever part of the globe where you're enjoying this broadcast. It's a certain pleasure sharing it with you here from this beautiful little island we call St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As once again you see the fans certainly having the time of their life in the stands, just awaiting the commencement of the night over. And Payne punches into the offside, brings the cover field into play, the deep cover into play. Once again, it's Dave Mohammed who tosses it back. Ball seemed to be following him around, Dave Mohammed. That's the thing about cricket. When you're having a good day, the ball follow you around. Similarly, when you're having a bad day, the ball tend to follow you around. But Ben will be hoping for an improved effort in this over. At the best of starts in the last over.
Muhammad once again, can he keep it out of the ropes? Cannot. And that's 4 more.
It's offering a bit of room again. Solomon Ben hasn't found the correct length to bowl, especially to Sirai. Sirai has really pounced on anything outside the off stump, resembling any sort of room. Once again, cutting this one past backward point. In fact, over backward point, and Dave Mohammed there on the deep point, deep cover of boundary, really had no chance. As we see a consultation again with Captain Courtney Walsh. He's coming in there from a short mid-wicket position.
Tall, lanky Suleiman Ben is in. And Sarai hoiks this one over the ropes, and that's 6 more.
We mentioned the challenge in terms of the length that he's bowling, Solomon Ben. On this occasion, a bit too full, offered the opportunity there for Sarai to free his arms. And we've seen that he's a very good time of the cricket ball, especially through the offside. And on that occasion, the man there, Dwayne Smith at long off, just had to watch it sail over his head for another maximum.
So 6 more to the total. They inch into the target of 110. The rest of the World Masters punched into the offside, stopped there that short mid-off position. And a good piece of cricket there from Pedro Collins.
He's just running away to his right. Not his strongest side. Was able to limit the players from taking a single. 82 for 1. Once again, a bit of a misfield there.
Unfortunately.
I think it's the commentator's course there, Denny.
Well, quite unfortunate day for Mohammed. He's had a good day with both bat and ball and in the field also, but sometimes they're just that particular moment that lets you down, and unfortunate in that situation there. Ben is in nonetheless. And worked up there to Captain Walsh. Wide-ish mid-on position. That's the end of the over, so it's 86 for the loss of 1 after 9. And the rest of the world is certainly looking to get this done and dusted as quickly as possible.
Another expensive over there from Solomon Ben. 15 runs coming from it. And the rest of the World Masters continue to marching on to victory. Indeed. 86 for 1, 9 overs completed. Require 24 runs from 6 overs. Just around 4 runs per over. It should be quite comfortable, given the fact that they also have 9 wickets remaining. I think that's the difference between the two teams in terms of the wickets preservation. We saw that the West Indian Masters, they lost wickets quite consistently, especially earlier on in the innings, and that would have dented their progress to some extent. On the other hand, we have seen the rest of the World 11 getting off to a good solid start, a positive start, and it has made things quite easy going through the back end of this innings.
Well, it's going to be Mohammed to continue from the northern end. But just to say that the rest of the world, majority of the players are just out of this tournament here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Independence Masters Cricket Tournament. So they would have had, over the last week or so, a fair share of action, whilst we had the West Indian Masters, who I believe would not have seen a cricket field for quite a while. And hence, the difference that we're seeing here tonight. This one is, straight to the arms there of, it looks like, Walsh. And for a moment I thought he was going to pluck it out of the air. Didn't happen.
Well, I think that basically epitomizes what you just mentioned in terms of the lack of cricket, playing cricket. That one just got bursting through the arms there of Courtney Walsh. 87 for 1.
This time, one bounce, the fielder comes around, I believe Sherwin Campbell it is. And a couple bounces back to Dave Mohammed.
It's something we alluded to earlier in terms of if the Masters had the opportunity to bowl first, then they could have grown into the game, getting used to the conditions. But basically, we're thrown in the deep end of the sea, as they would say, as another delivery by Mohammed, and it's walked out to deep mid-wicket. So quite a bit of work out there for Sherwin Campbell. Didn't contribute in terms of a batting effort, but so far took a catch and has saved a couple of runs for his team.
Certainly Campbell. And I remember his days as a cricketer in Barbados playing for his school, Ellerslie. Sherwin Campbell, likes of Roger Coward, who didn't really feature at the regional level as much as I think he ought to or should have. But Sherwin Campbell, one of those players from the Ellerslie school that came through all the way for Barbados and then eventually for the West Indies. This one is through him, and he's bowled as a matter of fact, Sarai. So wicket number 2 there for Mohammed, and that's signature shoe celebration there from Dave Mohammed. It's not being shown there on camera, but that's Sarai beaten and bowled, and the wicket number 2 going down. It's now 89 for the loss of 2.
You spoke about that signature celebration earlier, and it's so nice to see it again there from Dave Mohammed. Sorry, not often you will see these unique celebrations, but he's able to get a second wicket.
Yes, still with shoe in hand, Dave Mohammed. And fans again just enjoying themselves here tonight in this wrap-up of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Independence Masters Cricket Competition being played here at the lovely Arnesville Cricket Stadium. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, of course, celebrated recently its 46th anniversary as an independent nation, and there certainly was a situation where the National Independence Military Parade was held right here at the Arnesville Cricket Stadium. Hence the reason why there are so many independence paraphernalia still very much around. And if you look closely at the field, you'll see some yellow markings. Those are the lines for the parade that was held recently here at Arnesville. As Mohammed to continue in this the 10th over. He's picked up thus far 2 for 18, Mohammed. Picked up the 2 wickets to have fallen. And the new batsman in Shane Shillingford, the captain of the rest of the world, coming to the crease. Known more for his bowling than his batting, Shillingford. And Mohammed just toying a bit there with pain. And really and truly he's enjoyed himself tonight here at Arnesville, Dave Mohammed. And one beats him completely outside the off stump. That's the end of the over. At the end of it, 89 for the loss of 2. A successful over there from Mohammed.
Another brilliant over there from Dave Mohammed in the context of how the innings have gone. He's certainly one of the few players, one of the few bowlers from the West Indian Masters perspective who has been able to exert any sort of pressure, any sort of uncertainty on the part of the batsman. Rewarded with a couple of wickets, quite economical as well. Shane Shillingford, we mentioned, we haven't seen him with the ball tonight, coming in now at number 4. I think it's Pedro Collins going to switch ends.
Yes.
Coming now from that backway end.
So Collins, I believe this is his 3rd over, bowled 2 from the northern end, and as you said, been switched there now to the southern end, the backway end, as there's some field adjustments taking place. Meantime, spectators continue to have a little bit of a party in the stands.
It's generally the nature of cricket here at the Arnesville Sporting Complex. If you follow the VPL or even those international games, you normally have a very festive atmosphere.
Maybe it's all part of our DNA, the Vincentian DNA with regards to entertainment and even cricket, as you just highlighted a while ago. Payne just waiting for this over to get going by Pedro Collins. Worked into the offside. Nice looking flowing drive there from Payne. He's going to get pretty close to the ropes, but I believe Smith is there picking it up and just lobbing it back.
doing it quite easy here, the rest of the world masters, 91 for 2. Just for the 19 runs. Still the better part of 5 overs remaining to get these 19 runs. Game ending in somewhat of a bit of a lull, as they would say. But any sort of pressure on the batting team. He's driving this one again quite nicely. Out to Dwayne Smith there on the deep extra cover boundary. Gets another single. Payne.
Well, we've had quite a lot of exciting finishes here at Arnons Vale. I could recall that's tied one day between West Indies and Australia. Darren Samian and Kemar Roach at the crease. Never ever forget that. It was really and truly a nail biter. That's not the case here tonight, as Collins moves in now to Shane Chillingford, and it's a no ball being signaled.
Well, on the topic of nail biters, I'm not sure if you can recall the Shonda Paul incident as well. Having
Versus
to go
New Zealand.
the hospital, yes, and returning and winning that game for West Indies. So as you mentioned, it's quite a happy hunting ground as well for the West Indies. I think they won like 13 games, ODI games in a row, here at the Arnonsville Sporting Complex.
Certainly. Been quite a successful ground for the West Indies outfit. And this one is back over his head. Not really getting the power, as per se, there from Shane Chillingford. Getting a single nonetheless in the process. And it's now 93 for the loss of 2. 94 as a matter of fact, for 2.
Also had a couple of test matches played down here. One against Bangladesh, which we lost. And I think the other was against Pakistan, if my memory serves me correct.
That's correct. Nice flowing drive there to long off there off the bat of Payne. 95 now for the loss of 2. Payne moves on to 8. And Chillingford, Shane Chillingford, who also had his contribution with the ball for the West Indies, had a bit of a problem with his bowling action. It was unfortunate the win which he had to leave the international stage in Chillingford.
It's quite a promising start to his career as well. A couple of 5-wicket hauls, if my memory serves me correct. As you mentioned, I had an issue with his action and never really recovered. Was just not as penetrative after that remodeling of his action.
Payne gets a full toss outside the off stump there, just works it into that point position. No one run resulting. 96 for the loss of 2 at the end of the 11th over. So there's 4 more to come with some 14 more runs to go, and the odds quite naturally stack in favor of the rest of the world.
Indeed so. Should be quite comfortable from here. 96 for 2. Chasing a rather subpar total of 110 set by the West Indian Masters. That total in itself representing somewhat of a recovery effort from them, having lost quite a few wickets earlier on. At one stage they were 12 for 4, but thankfully a bit of a resistance being shown there by the likes of Morvin Dillon and Dayton Butler. Just managed to drag the team up to 109, and in response it has been a comfortable effort so far from the rest of the world 11, led by Sarai, who really took advantage of the bowling quite early, and these two now, Chillingford and Payne, looking to just steer the boat home to harbour.
Well, Dwayne Smith, of course, with his gentle medium pace, and would have served the West Indies well in the shorter format with his medium pacers. He's now been introduced into the attack here tonight. Maybe a last throw of the dice from Captain Courtney Walsh to see what possibly can happen.
You mentioned gentle medium pacers. Yes, quite a handy all-rounder to some extent, Dwayne Smith in his heyday. Quite electric in the field. A very powerful strike of the cricket ball. And of course, he can also contribute in terms of the ball. Just to get the ball to move away from the right-handers quite appreciably. It'll be interesting to see if he can get any sort of movement.
Still has that characteristic approach of his Smith down the leg side, wide signal. So not the best of starts there for Dwayne Smith.
It's quite interesting to note the difference in terms of the seamers for the rest of the world 11 and the West Indian Masters 11. Their seamers haven't really been able to get any sort of assistance unnoticeable assistance from this pitch. But if you can recall, Sarai really did a good job up front. As he's bowled.
That's a Yorker. He's yorked him, as a matter of fact, right up there from Dwayne Smith. And Shane Chillingford losing his middle stump. Wicket number 3.
I think that's something that we saw quite a bit of during his playing days, Dwayne Smith. He's quite deceptive. That's forced delivery looking quite, just simple and not posing any sort of threat. But on this occasion, a good Yorker length delivery, just angling back into the right-handed Shillingford really had no answer for it. And they lose the 3rd wicket. It's now 97 for 3.
Interestingly, when the rest of the world team bowled here tonight, Ramparts, who had those slow left-arm deliveries, he took a lot off. And it really and truly made life a bit difficult for some of the batters here. So it looks like the more pace you take off here at the Arnold's playing field, the more difficult it becomes for the batters. And that was just a shining example there from Dwayne Smith.
A very good observation. And we spoke about the wicket in some detail earlier on in terms of what it offers for the bowlers, especially here under the lights. As long as you're able to get the ball in the right areas, you can pose somewhat of a threat to the batsmen. What we have seen is quite a few loose deliveries from the West Indies Masters, and as you alluded to, the fact that they have not really played a lot of cricket in recent times, so that may have contributed to the erratic nature of their bowling effort.
Salvan Brown comes to the wickets. Vincentian wicketkeeper opening batter, and we know what Salvan certainly can bring to the table. He will face up there now to Dwayne Smith. And as you see the field now being spread, of course, the fact that we are out of that power play, there's more freedom as Smith delivers. And the work nicely off the pads there by Salvan Brown. That's 4 well-taken runs off the bat.
I'll tell you what, as a batsman coming into bat, is the type of delivery that you dream of. Just a juicy full toss on the line of the leg stump. Brown just coming inside of the line and working it past that man Pedro Collins there at a short fine leg position, and any sort of bat he was able to get on that delivery would have definitely led to a boundary, and so it did. So he's up and running, Salvan. It's 101 for the loss of 3.
So just 9 more needed for victory here tonight. The rest of the World Masters taking on the West Indian Masters, and we're into the 12th over. 2 more after this. As a matter of fact, 3 more after this one. So Dwayne Smith certainly maybe will want to have a wicket or 2 more added into his column. And this one is down the leg side. Ridley Jacobs just skipping around a bit as the wide is being signaled there by the umpire. It's 103 for the loss of 3.
I think at this stage Ridley might be telling himself there's a lot of unnecessary efforts here I have to exert behind the wicket. A couple of wides down the leg side now from Smith, just missing his bearings.
And another delivery down the leg side, not taken cleanly by Jacobs, and we have a signal for yet another wide.
Certainly not helping the cause here for the West Indian Masters, Dwayne Smith, with these wides. It's offering extra runs to the opposition, an opposition that is already in a very comfortable position as well.
So it's 104, I believe. It should be 104 for 3, another 102, subject to correction. This delivery is again down the leg side, and again, well, might have just very well tickled the pad on its way through. So a bit of luck there for Dwayne Smith. And yes, it's 104 for the loss of 3. We've got 3 more deliveries to go in this over. And this one is, well, a bit of a luck there for Payne, as there was Mohammed trying to come off that deep, long on position, didn't get there in time, and it just nestled into no man's land. They took a single in the process. A good take there by Ridley Jacobs. Absolutely wonderful take by Jacobs.
Well, bowled as well from Dwayne Smith. putting a bit more effort into that delivery, cutting Sullivan in half, as they would say. But a very good take there from Ridley, the man out of Antigua.
Wayward once again from Dwayne Smith. And has to bowl that one over. 106 with a loss of 3.
So they actually one shot away from victory here, the rest of the World Masters. Just 4 runs required for victory.
And it seems as if Dwayne Smith wants to do it in wides.
I was just about to mention that. Really not a very good effort here from Dwayne Smith. He's conceding extras after extras. Game just panning out in somewhat of a lull.
So it's 6 wides in this over, so he's bowled an extra over here thus far, given with 6 runs. So not the best of efforts from the Barbadian talisman, Dwayne Smith. Certainly has been talismanic in his days as he comes in out of bowl 2. Brown will just punches it back up along the pitch, and that's, I believe, is the end of the over. The end of an extended over there from Dwayne Smith. And at the end of it, 107 for 3, chasing 110 for victory, just 3 runs shy, and certainly the smell of victory is there for the rest of the world.
Yes, the rest of the World 11, they can see victory on the horizon. Just 3 runs away. Sullivan, Brown, and Payne at the crease. Looking to take this one home for the rest of the World Masters.
So we're waiting to see who's going to bowl possibly the final over here tonight. It looks like it's going to be Pedro Collins who will continue. Just having a brief conversation there with Suleiman Ben, both Barbadians.
I think that's Ian Allen as well, going out to extra cover there. I'm not sure if Sir Courtney was offering the services of Ian to the bowling crease, but seemed to have declined. Maybe nursing an injury of some sort.
Possibly.
It's Pedro Collins to bowl what could possibly be the last over. 3 runs required. Driving this one all the way down to long off, and that signaled the end of the game. A very comfortable victory in the end. Pain, inflicting some pain there on the West Indian Masters for the last time. And it's a well-deserved victory here for the rest of the World 11 in what has been quite a one-sided contest, it must be said.
Yes, quite a comfortable victory here tonight for the rest of the world. Indeed, Sarai and McLean indeed had a wonderful start. They posted 50 plus before the loss of the first wicket. And then the likes of Payne and Sullivan Brown, as we saw a while ago, certainly pulling the curtain, so to speak, for the rest of the world. And it's been a night where the West Indian Masters, we know their exploits from back in the day, but they've shown to us that they're humans just like all of us. And once you go over the mountain and you're on your way back down, it's difficult for you to replicate things that you'd have certainly done in the past. But certainly it's a pleasure seeing them here tonight at Arnoldville.
Definitely so. It was quite a very good moment for a lot of the spectators here at the Arnoldville Sporting Complex. I'm sure they would have really come out in their numbers to witness some of these players they haven't seen for a while. I know some of them might have seen them in their heyday. Not the best of starts from them. The top order really didn't come to the party tonight. The likes of Dwayne Smith and Stuart Williams, Philo Wallace and these guys never really got going. Must be said, it was some good bowling as well from Sarai and the likes of McLean as well. These players, they would have put some pressure on the top order. Never really got any sort of partnerships going. And unfortunately for them, that runs was just not enough, given the lack of cricket that they would have played over the years. It showed up in their fielding and also in the inconsistencies in terms of their bowling.
Well, maybe this is something that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is on to, down the road. We've had the Independence Masters cricket competition for quite a number of years, I believe up to about 8 years. This is year number 8. But tonight, indeed, with the West Indian Masters and taking on the rest of the World Masters, an indication that going forward in years to come here in this country of ours, this certainly can do a lot with regards to sports tourism here in this country. We would have noticed quite a number of visitors who came in to be all part of what was on offer here at the Arnorsville playing field. Some 21 teams. As a matter of fact, 15 teams from outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines coming in to be all part of this tournament here this year. And it can only grow from strength to strength and add to the whole matter of that economic activity around this time of the year.
7-0, you just won yourself a return flight to New York City. If you don't come in 3 minutes and we are counting down, we're going to call another number. They are currently setting up for the prize giving ceremony. So while they're doing that, we're going to be entertained with some music. Let me repeat the number for a final time. You got 3 minutes to get over here. 341-270.
Hopefully in the future we'll see more of the same or even an improved spectacle as it relates to that.
Well, certainly was a pleasure sharing the microphone with you here tonight. And indeed, the fans who came out, they enjoyed themselves. There's no question with regards to the fact that they came to, first and foremost, taking the cricket, but very importantly, ensure that they had some good, clean fun. And we saw a lot of that here tonight at the Arnorsville Cricket Stadium. There was some entertainment in between. Chowder and the fireman Hooper and others who came to the party, so to speak. But I think at the end of it all, the whole matter of cricket in St. Vincent and the Grenadines was on show tonight. And commendation to all involved. I think we did a fairly good job.
Indeed so. So I think what we'll do now, we'll take a short break and we should be back with the presentation ceremony in just a few minutes' time.
Somebody down there?
Watch now, that is the sweetest part of the beat right here. Boogie, trust me on this one. Just hear your girl out for this one time. I know how to make the girls and them wine. Activate the waist and the spine. As we say, on that's our line. You don't want the vibes to flow. You don't want them to bend down low. That beat is song and well good and know. But I want them, they have to go. Cause careless when they don't get home. Yeah, push it back when they don't get home. Hook it up when they don't get home. Like the best and that's perform. Slip aside when they don't get home. You love the right when they don't get home. Peace of mind when they don't get home. Like the best and that's perform. Hey, beat it. Hey, beat it. Hey, beat it.
Alrighty then. So we gotta go. We gotta move on and pull another number. Alright, so let's pull because time is of the essence here. Let's pull another number. And at this time, if you can make it down to the field and come across and just notify us that you are the winning stub holder, that's fine at this time. Alright, so let's go again. Let's pull another one. Pull another one. Alright, 341-163. 341-163. 341-163. Make your way to the party stand. You got 2 minutes. take this time to say thank you so much for coming out to the Honors Stadium to witness tonight's match between West Indies Masters and the rest of the world Masters. All right, on behalf of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Tourism Authority and the National Lotteries Authority, who are the main sponsors for tonight's event, it has been wonderful indeed. But we're not finished yet, and I'm just saying thank you before, while I wait to kill time. So let's pull another stop. Hopefully this person is still in the park. We're still in the park. Let's go again. Let's go again, because somebody has to fly out to SVG. Come on, man. Let's go. This person inside here, I could feel it. 341. No, 092. 341 092. Is that your ticket? Let me see a wave if you're in the stands. If I don't see a wave, I'm gone. 341 092. Don't play with me. Bring this stub. 341 092. Everybody trade with the ticket, boy. You've been drinking. 341 092. Nobody? Oh, good grief. Bungalow, like we had to empty this bag here, boy. Until somebody goes, it's me. 341 469. Listen, at this time, don't play with us. We ain't playing. 341 469. Boy. 341 469. Nobody. It's Tourism Authority's call at this point. We're pulling another one. 341 498. 341 498. I must see the home of Dodo. Oh my gosh. We're going again until somebody says it's me. Man, don't play with me, man. All right. 184125. 184125. But Lord, this is crazy. One more. Master. We gotta figure out how to give away that final one, boy. Because we can't stay here whole night pulling stubs. 341822. You better be in the stadium right now or else. 341822. 341822. No. Merciless. One more for the road and then one more for the road. Let me see your hands. Put that in your back pocket, sir. He can pull? Okay, he can pull. 340115. Julia, don't play with me, man. 340115. Nobody? Oh, man. We pull the whole bag. 340799. Statistically speaking, this is going to be very tedious. Let me pull one. My hand kind of hurting me out, taking out. No, ma'am. What was that number there? 340. 899. For real. 340802. Last one, are we done for real? We gotta go. 184-172. 184-172. One more, Sibangale, because we got a presentation waiting for us over there. 340691. I gotta figure out how to do that next week or something.
I say load me up with the oil. Everything had to spoil from grandma go down to child. They've been wanting this for a while. Deal with them in a style. When stars align, greatness outshines all hatred in space and time. So still we rise with grace and with faith in the morning, with chains and oil. I am a backpack and I'm ready. Rum in my backpack and I'm ready. Promoter done laughing already with a backpack and the heavy you now. They go out to put the job and a payroll. Oil fresh like today roll. Put the job and a payroll. Oil fresh like today roll. Put some respect on me name. I don't want to hear. Don't give me that you want to pay. You want to pay. Put some respect on me name. I don't want to hear. Don't give me that you want to pay. You want to pay for them. They can't test the job. We the maddest thing in our festival. You can't miss the flag. I prefer a mask, miss me than I miss a mask. Head bad and I fully charge. Oh, I am a backpack and I'm ready. Rum in my backpack and I'm ready. Promoter done laughing already with a backpack and the heavy on her. They go out to put the job and a payroll. Oil fresh like today. Put the job and a payroll. Oil fresh like today. Put some respect on me name. I don't want to hear. Don't give me that you want to pay. You want to pay. Put some respect on me name. I don't want to hear. Don't give me that you want to pay. You want to pay for them. I say load me up with the oil. Everything I just buy from grandma go to the child. Chop chop. They been wanting this for a while. Deal with them in a style. All are we in the same boat. You get in and I get in on. All are we in the same boat.
Turn up this.
You get in and I get in on.
Turn up this.
You know what I mean?
Shut up. Come down from there. Shut up. Come down. Come down from there. You feel like you're better than me. Come down from there. You feel like you can sell on me. Come down from there. Shut up. I shallow him. Bad mind, come down. Envy, come down. Haters, come down. I shallow him. Come down. Come down.
All are we in the same boat. You get in and I get in on. All are we in the same boat.
Turn up this.
You get in and I get in
Turn
on.
up this.
You know what I mean?
Shut up. Come down from there. Shut up. Come down. Come down from there. You feel like you're better than me. Come down from there. You feel like you can sell on me. Come down from there. Shut up. Come down. Come down from there. You can't cut no style on me. Come down from there. Once I have money in pocket. Come down from there. Shut up. Come down. Come down from there.
I go to chiffon, I see what I see. I ban my belly. You back broad, boy.
I don't afraid. I don't afraid on a game. I don't afraid on. I don't afraid on a game. I don't afraid.
You back broad, broad. All are we in the same boat.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Come down from there. I shallow him. Come down. Come down from there. Come down. No. Come down from there. Shut up. Come down. Come down from there.
They try to calm me down, they try to calm me down. They say I can't drink rum. Oh God, so much a girl in town, so much a girl in town. I want you. Everybody know what our behavior from June.
1 2 1 2. Thank you, Mr. Leader. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this, the presentation ceremony for the SVG Masters Cricket Competition and the 25. We want to this year, and certainly for all of us, it was indeed a competition to remember. Just like to acknowledge in my presence the Minister of Tourism and Culture, the Honorable Carlos James, to his right, the Minister of Sports, Marks. Seem to be having a bit of a mic problem. To the president. Score. So, Mr. Mahabir, receiving your envelope. We're still in the Pet Division. Batsman scoring the fastest century, Naveed Sarai. Naveed Sarai, fastest tree. In the Pet Division, the player with the most runs. Don't go anywhere. Naveen Sarai. In the Pet Division, taking the most wickets, Kisan Rampasad. Most wickets, Kisan Rampasad. Ladies and gentlemen, player of the finals in the Pet Division, Mahabir. Robert Mahabir, player of the finals, Pet Division. Ladies and gentlemen, let's call the team that placed second in the Pet Division. Team placing second, Pet Division. Please come forward. Pet Division. And the winner of the division, US cash $2,000. Winner, Pet Division. Now move to the festival. Most runs. High run shallow. In the festival division. Most wickets. Rajiv Roberts, most wickets. Batsman scoring the fastest century. Shem Brown, festival division. Batsman scoring 50. Shillingford. Festival divisions. Batsman scoring 50. Shane Shillingford.
We're doing like awards and so on from marks on the ground for people know where to stand.
Losing semi-finals festival division. Losing semi-finalists festival division. There were two losing semi-finalists festival division. Losing semi-finalists festival division. Player of the finals festival division. Shane Shillingford. Second place, Festival Shield. US $2,000. Please come forward. Second position. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Festival Shield, SVG, Independence Masters Tournament, out of Trinidad and Tobago, Waterloo. $5,000 cash. Woodland, my apologies. Woodland. Please come forward. Congratulations to the winners here tonight. And just for your information, the contribution to the Jamaican Appeal Fund was over some 1,800 Eastern Caribbean dollars. And we say thanks to all the patrons who certainly made your contribution tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being all parts of this. Thanks to the officials. We look forward to hosting you next year when we have yet another SVG Masters Independence Cricket Tournament right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thanks much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win. Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8 and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Hello, St. Vincent. This is Curtly Ambrose, and I want you to know that I am supporting the SVG International Masters Tournament. When? October 24th to November 1st, 2025. And I tell you something else. On the 1st of November, it will be a big game. The West Indies Masters taking on the rest of the world. Come out and see some legends turn back the hands of time. You certainly don't want to miss this. This will be something you will always remember. See you there.